Hello everyone! Welcome everyone to Mania 4K World Cup 2024. This is the grand final showcase after a astounding weekend of matches for the finals week. I'm Mint, and I'm here joined once again by Sunapple. How you doing?
Hello. I'm back again. I'm really excited to be able to showcase this match, or not match, these maps, honestly. We are in the grand finals. This is the last map pool that these players will be playing in, and there's only 3 teams left, and it's honestly been such a historic MWC.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about this pool, and I hope everyone else is as well. But this grand finals pool is genuinely, like, bonkers, dude. Like, I don't even... Well, we'll see it in just a second, but, like, the thing is, like, it is just so much harder than last year, and last year was already, like, such a big step up. And, I mean, it's just crazy, like, to imagine, like, these top 3 teams, like, facing off against each other on such an astoundingly hard map pool.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Honestly, like, looking through these maps, I was just amazed by how difficult every single one are. It's definitely a significant step up between finals and grand finals. So if you were kind of struggling on finals, you will definitely be struggling a lot on this one.
Yeah, and we already started seeing some weaknesses from those top 3 teams last week. I mean, this week. So next week, who knows how much of a difference that will make, that difficulty jump. And I mean, yeah, without further ado, let's just get started, shall we?
Let's do that.
So here we have Full Moon, Full Life by Valedict. This is our speed chart. This is our Rice 1. I'm sure everyone who's been watching the showcases by now will know that Rice 1 is our speed stream chart. And I mean, what can we say about this? I mean, these streams go up to like 380, 90-ish BPM?
Yeah, it's something like that. It's just absolutely kind of crazy, honestly. There's just so many trills in this map, honestly. It's pretty different from what we've been seeing in a lot of the previous stream maps. There's a lot more, like, kind of, like, mini Jackie, a lot more trilly, or one-hand trillies in this.
For sure, yeah. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of, like, sort of, like, break sort of sections, in my opinion. Like, there's no, like, you're not really seeing, like, full difficulty right here. It gets, okay, here it is, the chorus, or I guess the drop here. These streams right here, I think, are like 390 BPM. But they're not like super long. They're broken up by a little bit, but it's still really difficult.
Yeah, I do think this map is kinda, like, is kind of sectioned off. There's this one section of streams which is pretty long, and then a little break, and then a long section of streams after. So you honestly, like, don't get too much leeway in terms of, like, your strain. So be sure to, I guess, stay prepared for all this, because there's, like, almost no breaks besides like this.
Yeah, I mean, this middle section is pretty much the only break that you get between those sort of sections. And I mean, this map is honestly, like, sort of... It does feel a little bit different to me than previous stream picks, just by the nature of, like, sort of the it's not as sustained throughout, but it still has that sort of, like, consistency component to it that gives it its sort of flavor.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like this map kind of goes in and out between, like, kind of dense, or, like, the density of the patterns, just because, like, the vocals kind of do that. But I do feel like whenever it does just become super dense, it's just absolutely absurd to be able to play. Just, like, it's even if this was at, like, a lower speed, it's kind of difficult just to be able to stay, like, on beat for this.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I mean, like, those, like, mini trills, and you just see them all over in the densest sections of the chart, and that really adds to the difficulty. I mean, they honestly, like those sorts of patterns, like, they really add, like, exponential difficulty stream patterns, and as we've seen in previous stream maps, like we've tried to keep those like low, like the amount of those sorts of patterns in Rice ones, but this map just really like there's a much higher frequency, and it's really you can really notice that step up in my opinion. So this is much more like a sort of physical pick compared to the previous Rice ones. But it does have like more of like breaks in between, so that I think there's sort of a trade-off going on there, and yeah, I guess that'll conclude Rice 1. So now let's get into Rice 2, Yudachi no Ribbon by Miari Chesu 1.3.
Yeah, this map is not too bad. I mean, I say this even though it's 299 BPM right now. It is absolutely so fast.
We haven't hit 300 yet, guys. It's pretty easy, guys, right?
Yeah, but honestly, I feel like the density of this map is pretty consistent throughout. So like what we're seeing right now, I think it gets a slight bit more dense in like the actual chorus, but it stays around the same thing. So it really is just kind of making sure that you're able to play these patterns for a decent length, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like this map also has like that sort of like you're not really seeing a sustained like sort of feel, because I mean we do get that sort of sustained level here with like the anchors here, and I mean it's just not as like heavy in terms of like that sort of like continuous jump stream pattern compared to the next pick, which is our standard pick, of course.
Yeah, I definitely do think this map is more like focusing on, I feel like being able to just play these patterns in general, not really being able to like sustain for so long, I guess. What I will say though is these anchors on this map, we have already seen quite a few, and they're just so brutal, and they're just constant throughout the whole map basically.
Yeah, the anchors are definitely what gives this chart its character and its difficulty. There's these really long 4-note, 3-note anchors all the time in this chart. You also get occasional like 4-note one-hand trills, and those are just like, it's just characteristic of what you might expect from Miari Chesu's jump stream at this point, after you've been in this tournament for so like for the past few weeks. I mean, you probably know what to expect. It's just that, but with higher BPM, really.
Yeah, it really is, and we really haven't seen a break. I think we get one soon, so you do get some time to kind of bring back your stamina, at least.
For sure, and we also get a lot of breaks. This song is very forgiving, but when it's not in a break section, it continues for quite a long time.
Yeah, and something to note is that I feel like in terms of like kind of jump stream maps, this map is not too dense. This isn't set to start, and we've really been seeing there's been a lot of sections where like it's not really too much to do besides really just focusing on being able to play the speed, and the speed itself is just like the biggest thing. So I think in terms of like this being picked, it can be pretty high for I guess the teams that are able to pick it, since if you aren't able to play the speed, it's kind of difficult to really get a really good score.
Yeah, for sure, and I mean, I mean that is quite difficult for jump stream pick 299 BPM. Uh, and yeah, we will be getting straight into Rice 3, which is our standard pick. Card Desperation, which is 284 BPM. This map by Lemon Guy. This is not a custom map, so people will probably be familiar with this. This was charted a couple years ago, I think, and it was made for Soft 6. So people should recognize this, I think.
Yeah, probably. I do think that this map is just absolutely brutal. This first section is very long. However, it's not as dense as it gets later on, so what we're seeing right now, don't worry, this isn't that hard compared to the rest, but I do think it is super hard in terms of like your stamina.
Yeah, I mean, this map is absolutely crazy. Like with the really long anchors and just like the like aggressive like trills, like uses for trill, like, it's constant. It's even more constant than in the previous chart. These anchors are a lot longer too, on average.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, especially these anchors, as you are saying. They're just so long, and they they don't really stop. You're always playing at least one alongside like a one-hand trill or like something else, or even like trilling alongside the anchor, so having like two-hand trills. And they just go on for so long, and later on it just gets denser and denser.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just that anchor right there on column 4. That's a really long one. I don't know how many notes that is. It's at least 10. But yeah, you get stuff like that every now and then in this chart. And as I said, the anchors, you really notice it. Like 3-note anchors, 4-note anchors. It's a constant in this chart. It just does not stop. It keeps going, and it's 284 BPM.
Yeah, this BPM is absolutely insane for how hard it should be. I think we will be coming up to our first break right now, and there's one more break, but I feel like even like with these breaks, it's not too good because it just levels up by so much in these last two sections. Just in terms of density, we're already seeing it right now. It has just become so much more
Yeah,
dense in this early
we're
section.
getting that stream right there just now. And we do get a few of those here. Here's another one. And these jump streams are just continually dense, and it's interrupted by those sorts of like streaming patterns. It's just this map just throws everything at you in terms of stamina. You really gotta conserve your stamina. This is only 3 minutes. And I say only because our previous stamina pick was 4 minutes, but this is so much more stamina draining in my experience that it's just you really cannot sleep on a chart like this.
Yeah, that is definitely true. And as we get past that little LN section, really easy, honestly. So I don't think anything will happen there. We get into our last one, and we see kind of a combination, a increase in density and a increase in the amount of anchors, as we just did see.
For sure. I mean, this part is just it's constant density. Like we get the 2-1-2-1. It's the whole way through. It just does not stop. And here we have the end of the chart, and this is where you gotta make sure you're not like shaking or like messing that release up or something like that. But you know, we've seen mistakes like that here and there in the past few years. But you gotta just keep your head in the game for a pick like this. And yeah, with Rice 3 out of the way, let's get into Rice 4. This is Picking by Lemon Guy. This is our chord jack pick. And yeah, it is 170 BPM, so we do get 170 BPM chord jacks. It is relatively light, I would say, but it's still really rough.
Yeah, I would say it's kind of light, as you did say, but I do think like it's very technical, I guess. Later on, we'll see it, but like for now, it'll stay kind of light. Nothing too bad. It's mostly the 170 BPM that's a big problem in this intro.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're not really seeing any super difficult stuff in the intro just yet. We're gonna get to the difficulty at some point. But yeah, this sort of like light introduction, we're getting, yeah, I mean, it's pretty rough, honestly. Like even though it looks like pretty light, but it's just really rough, honestly.
Yeah, I will say also these little LNs can definitely trip up a lot of players because I feel like especially in chord jacks, it's really important to be able to get really good accuracy. So you kind of focus a lot on being able to release it on time.
Yeah, and here's where the like bulk of the chart difficulty comes from. This really dense section.
Yeah, I do think a really big part of that difficulty is really from these kind of like one-hand trills that you have to play alongside the 170 BPM jacks, as well as just like the density. I think it's like triples and quads just constantly transitioning between that and then also the streams and also having to play anchors. This is absolutely brutal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're getting like that long trill right there. I mean, that is, you still have used that chord jack motion to play that, so it's not that bad. But I mean, we're getting the dense part of the chart right here. We're getting like those triples there. I mean, multiple triples in a row in a chord jack chart for MWC. It's pretty rare that we honestly get something like that. And that ending you have to watch out for. Like it's really rough. So yeah, that's Picking by Lemon Guy. It's our chord jack pick. And we're gonna get straight into Rise 5. This is our tech pick. This Max Inc. by Pizza 69. And a lot of captains, team captains, are gonna be like, oh, the jackpot, because you know what? I saw this chart in a lot of country tryouts. You know, I'm watching you guys, you know. And you guys, yeah, you guys got it. You guys nailed it.
Yeah, and I do want to say this is a completely like different ball game compared to Fireball that we saw last week. This map is 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It is so long and it is so bursty. Like instead of like Fireball being a bit more like having the simple intro and then the ending being insane, this map is just insane throughout the entirety.
Yeah, I mean, this map is just, it is just balls to the wall the entire time. You just really can't, you can't have a break with it. It's constant, mini jacks, bursts, everything is here.
Yeah, and something to note is that I feel like these kind of like bursts, these mini jacks become just closer and closer to each other. You get less and less of a break between them as the map progresses, and that can be such a strain just because of how long this map is.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible, like how difficult this is. We're not even getting into the, we're not even at the difficult part yet, so to speak. Like, I think that the difficulty honestly like really jumps up towards the middle section, or just about.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Though I feel like there is quite a few like sections where you can kind of like cool off, think about what you're doing, like making sure that you're kind of focused and everything. So that
yeah,
is
we're getting into this. Sorry, we're getting into this like really abrasive like mini jack burst section. This is the part where I was talking about, where the difficulty of this chart really starts to ramp up.
We are just seeing it. It's just constantly things happening right now. There's just mini jacks after mini jacks, little like hand streams, or not hand streams, like little trills everywhere.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it is really just constant, honestly. Like, we have this little break section right now, and it's just, it's very, like, that's not enough to recover for I would imagine most players. Like, we're getting straight back into difficulty right here.
Yeah, and about a quarter left, and I feel like by now if you are struggling, you will definitely be struggling more. I don't know how many people will actually be able to play this consistently. I don't know how many people will be able to like FC this consistently.
Well, I guess that's something that the team captains would know from their tryouts, I'm sure. But yeah, we're getting this like sort of like last sort of section that just kind of keeps going, but it's slowly getting a little bit easier as we approach the ending.
Yeah,
And here we are, we're closing it out. And yeah, that was Rice 5, and let's just jump straight into Rice 6. One good reason this is mapped by Elexar and Poke Gadget. This is a very interesting collab. I hope you guys enjoy. This one's a sort of like a dump chart, and it just really, it's crazy. This chart is crazy.
yeah, this map really is. It is super dense, I feel. I think compared to like the previous maps that we have been like putting into like the dump stream category, it is definitely a lot more dense than anything that we've seen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're already seeing it here. It's kind of like a broken sort of dump feel, similar to our previous Rice 6 map. And yeah, we're just getting like we're getting straight into it. These sorts of like camo jack oriented sort of like dump patterns. This is really rough in general. It's just like it's constantly changing like snaps too as well.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Another thing to note is that there's these like really small and like really tight like two-hand trills that happen, like a little like just a short one, but it is just constant throughout this entire map, and you have to be sure to, I guess, like hit them on time and accurately just because of how fast they are. It's like they're basically like right next to each other.
Yeah, this one, and we're getting this sort of like right hand little like interlude section here. It's quite funny. Definitely have to watch out for that. Don't take your left hand off the keyboard because you never know when the left hand's gonna come back in.
Yeah, definitely have to be sure to be ready for anything, honestly, especially on this kind of map where it's just so brutal.
Absolutely, and that's definitely something you have to watch out for. Breaks here, and honestly, it's not like too bad given that you have those breaks. But honestly, I believe that the playtesters felt that this is the most physical rice map in the pool. So that's definitely something to take into account.
Yeah, I mean, that can definitely make sense. I mean, just looking at this map, it is definitely unorthodox, I think, compared to other kind of like maps that we have been seeing. I feel like everything else has kind of been able to kind of fit in like a category in terms of itself, whereas this one is a bit weirder in terms of the category that it is inside.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's so constant and it's so brutal, but it really just I mean, like those are like trilly like rotation sort of patterns, like mixed with like the rolly patterns, like just transitioning between those is probably like what you have to focus on most in this chart. And like that's definitely what this chart is like meant to tailor towards, in my opinion. So, and yeah, that's one good reason by Alexire and Poke Gadget. That is our Rice 6. So let's get into Rice 7. This is Mare Nectaris by Darkstar. And yes, we are using the full version of song. This is the 4 minutes of just pure, unadulterated Darkstar patterning. You're welcome. It's absolutely insane, this chart.
Yeah, I feel like whenever I was looking at this map, I felt like the first thought of mine was this is like the Rice TB. This right this Rice map is basically like every single other one put together. It has a bit of everything. It has a little bit of these kind of like Jackie patterns. We see a lot of these mini jacks that we have been like getting a bit of a glimpse at just constantly throughout this map.
Yeah, I agree. And it's like what you said about it being a Rice tiebreaker. I completely agree with that. This map is just so all-rounded in terms of like what it tests. Like it has these sorts of bursts, these mini jacks. It has like hand stream later on. It's just really streamy. Like in the second half, it is really mixed.
Yeah, and right here we're really seeing like these kind of more technical patterns. As you were saying, these bursts are just constant. We do kind of transition eventually into like more streams as we are right now. We see a lot of like kind of double jacks constantly.
Yeah, and for sure, we're definitely seeing like a lot of that jump stream, hand stream sort of like focus in certain spots, but then it gets straight into this sort of like technical, like abrasive, like mini jacky, like stream sort of patterns.
Yeah, and I will say the 4 minutes length isn't too bad, honestly. It definitely, this map never feels like 4 minutes, I think. I think there's
Yeah,
quite a few
absolutely.
breaks in, like, just in between everything to where you're able to, like, kind of regain stamina, so I wouldn't really worry about that too much. It really kind of just helps you have the ability to miss a few times, and you'll definitely be needing that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's like this sort of chart is like I I mean, if we see an FC on this chart in match, I will be absolutely shocked. It's so long. I mean, physically, I think it might be on the easier side, but it's just so continuous and so long, and it's a tech map. So like that for 4 minutes, like you just can't. Like I would be really surprised to see an FC on this.
Yeah, honestly, me too. And we are getting into this last part. We just see like the speed of that section is just absolutely insane, and it's just continuing right here in this most difficult section.
Yeah, I mean, this drop is absolutely brutal. Like, right here, this is probably the most difficult part of the chart. We're getting, like, super like, high NPS sort of, like, patterns, and it's just, like, constant. We're getting this, like, hand stream section. It's sort of like a break, if you will, but it's still really rough. Like, it's definitely not as rough as the, like, technical pattern, but we do get straight back into that technical sort of like thing we're going here. Look at the 3-note jacks, really, really dense bursts and streams. It's just the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I will say, I feel like one of the, at least shining lights in this map is that a lot of the mini jacks are kind of isolated, so you don't really have to focus on too much alongside them. You can kind of just, like, dead focus on those as well, and then think about, like, the hand stream and, like, the other sections around it.
Yeah, absolutely agree. These mini jacks are really, really forgiving, just given what they are. But yeah, and that really just, this map is honestly, it's such an experience. I recommend, like, if you think you're able to play this map, I really highly recommend playing it for yourself, because it is actually just such an experience.
Yeah, it really is, and you are getting up to this ending, and it doesn't even give you a chance, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that burst at the end was just completely rough. And just to think about, this map has 5,000 combo. Just think about that. Just, we have a 5,000 combo rice map in the pool. It's just, isn't that just wild? And yeah, that was my Nectaris. That was our last rice pick. So we're gonna get straight into our hybrids, and we have a little surprise for you. And yeah, that was Galvanizer by Ashround. This was mapped by Guden. It was replayed by Sudden Death. And before we move on, I just want to give a big shout out to our design team. As always, graphic design Panthulu, video and design coordinator Sakura006. And yeah, that was Galvanizer by Ashround. And can I just say, like, we've wanted Ashround for a really long time, and I feel like they really delivered with this. I'm really excited for this to be played in match. And yeah, this map, It is quite difficult. I mean, really, just a barrage of like 288 BPM hybrid patterns. Like, it's really no joke. And I mean, this is an absolutely insane map in my opinion. And it's just, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this one. And yeah, without further ado, let's just move on to hybrid 2. We're using Box Adventure 1.05, and this is a Lemon Guy chart, and people should probably know this from SOL 3. This was using Speed of Light 3, which was a tournament that was pretty big last year. We did change a few patterns in this, but yeah, this is pretty much identical to what was used in that tournament. We're getting like mini jacks and shield, as well as like very big chords for the LNs. It's very, very similar to Snail Charm Adventure from last round, actually.
Yeah,
And
I definitely agree. This is pretty similar. It's very, very jacky, I feel, honestly, compared to like anything else. A lot of the difficulty comes from like transitioning between the LN and the Rice, especially later on.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree about what you mentioned about the transitioning between the Rice and LN. It's just you really need to have that control in the map, or else you like find yourself slipping a lot on these sorts of patterns.
Yeah, and also these mini jacks are honestly no joke. You'd be surprised how easy it is to kind of like play that and then kind of accidentally mini jack one of the LNs later on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so easy to slip out of this map.
Yeah, I don't know about many people. I think this is probably one of the most iconic maps of Soul for me. I'm really happy to be able to see this in here. And this ending isn't or this ending right now is really, really hard. But I think once it just becomes LN, it is not that bad.
Yeah, honestly, the LNs in this chart are pretty straightforward, if I had to say so, but this chart is really all about, as you said, the transitioning between the Rice and the LNs, so it's like not messing up on the LNs that really, it's such an important thing here that you really need to get down. And yeah, that's Hybrid 2. Let's just jump into Hybrid 3, shall we? This is Extraction. This is actually a map by Abraxos, Alptrom, and CRZ Fola. So we have the Hybrid 3 gang come back together all in one chart. And yes, this is absolutely brutal. This chart is crazy. Like this, it goes so crazy. That really just speaks for itself. I just don't know how to describe these sorts of patterns at all. It's crazy. It's insane.
Yeah, honestly, it's super overwhelming. The MWC Hybrid 3 mapping team really has kind of nailed their style of Hybrid 3s with so many just like races. I think these little short LNs are just absolutely insane, and a lot of these like just, I guess, blocks of LNs feel kind of like inverse later on.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I mean, we're getting into Alptron section here. I think Alptron section is the most like coordination focused out of the 3 sections, and it's just like really, really. I mean, this chart does give you a few breaks, but from here, I think like after we get into this drop, it doesn't stop until like pretty much the very end. We get that little long jack there. Into this sort of like coordination hybrid section. It's really, really rough, honestly. Like, I mean, yeah, we get like those one hold note, and then like all the other 3 columns like are having like super fast notes. So it's really, really tricky sort of patterning there.
Yeah, I definitely feel like a lot of the LNs can kind of feel like streams, kind of. However, a big thing is that these LNs are just kind of extended for a bit. It's too long for you to kind of be comfortable on. And I feel like the breaks in this map honestly don't help that much, just because this isn't necessarily the most physical pick in the map pool. It really is just like the most technical to be able to play, just because there's just so much that can go wrong.
Definitely, and we're getting into Fola's section now. And I mean, I would say this is the most physical part of the map. Like, you're getting these sort of like very like like flam heavy sort of like LN streams sort of. And then we get those like triple jacks. It's just really crazy. And I mean, like the whole map is just absolutely insane. But I think this it really like peaks in difficulty right here.
Yeah, it definitely does, and we're already seeing it. I mean, I feel like the density of this has really increased. Everything is just twofold, and even our replay tester is struggling so much. Especially after having to play this for 3 minutes, I was saying that it isn't too stamina draining, but I feel like if you're, I guess it's kind of mentally draining at this point, since you're really focusing on getting really good accuracy.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just like I'm really happy with this map personally. Like this collab was honestly like the dream come true for I'm sure a lot of Hybrid 3 fans out there. I'm sure there are some of you. And yeah, that is a crazy difficult chart. I mean, our replayer here, Transcendent, is not even getting a 99, so we're really ramping it up here. Um, and that will conclude our hybrids. We did hybrid 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to get straight into our long note pick, starting with long note 1. This is Ignite by Mysterion and Chryslerline. I mean, this is crazy. This one.
Yeah, this is kind of like our timing hell pick, I feel. However, honestly, to me, it doesn't necessarily feel like a timing hell. It definitely is very shield heavy. It is kind of its own style. I really wouldn't kind of label it that way. I feel like a lot of this map is really focused on kind of like having shields and also doing something else on the same hand.
Yeah, this feels like a very like modern take on the timing hell sort of genre. It doesn't really feel like a typical timing hell, especially with the song choice. I think the song choice is like very different. Like you typically have like Vocaloid rock for these sorts of picks, as we've had in previous years, but this is like rock, like jazz, and like it's just like there's a lot of different things going on in this song that you can't really replicate that timing hell like feel and entirely faithfully, which is why I think it's very interesting that this like we have a sort of new take here for this coordination slot.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like this is a kind of, in my opinion, kind of like a better pick. Just because this map is so fun to be able to play, even though it is super hard to be able to act just because of how much that is happening. Being able to like kind of play like these kind of patterns where you're kind of like playing something on one finger and then doing something completely different on another is just so insane and just so fun and satisfying to be able to hit.
Absolutely agree. And I mean, like, this chart just overall just has, like, a lot of that, like, you really need to focus on, like, where you're holding, precisely, like, very precisely. The thing is, like, the BPM is very high, but you're not really getting, like, absurdly, like, physical patterns. You're just getting a lot of those, like, shields and such, like, very flammy sort of patterns right here as we're getting.
Yeah, that is true, and also something to note, this is 4 minutes long, so it is pretty long. The map pool itself has just been quite a bit longer than the last one, not too bad, but yeah, something to keep in mind after playing so much, you do have to make sure that your team is on, I guess, their A game throughout the entire match.
Absolutely, and yeah, I'm sure people have already noticed, but yeah, a lot of our picks are pretty long. Like, this is definitely something to watch out for in Grand Finals. You're gonna want to maintain your stamina throughout the entire like match, and who knows, maybe we get a bracket reset, and that's 2 matches where there's so many long picks, and you just like it really adds up, and you just really have to conserve yourself, especially on a pick like this. Like no matter if it's picked early or late in the match, this pick can really like give a lot of players some trouble in my opinion.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and we are getting into this instrumental solo, and this is really where, in my opinion, it kind of ramps up. The density of this map is just absolutely absurd, and it kind of like adds in some reverse shields, some shields, really everything is thrown at you at once in this one section.
Yeah, I mean, it just keeps going. Like this style, it just consistently like you really have to watch out for those like flams and releases like staggers all over the place. It's sort of like one note holds right here in this section of the chart. Really have to watch out for that.
Yeah, and I will say I feel like this ending kind of ramps up in terms of like density since we haven't been seeing too much at this. Like okay, we haven't seen a lot, but I feel like this ending is even more. We're already seeing so many more, I guess, longer anchors alongside these LMs.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like there is just this is just so much more like with with all of that, like it's just like it's timing hell on steroids, really. And this sort of pick, you really need to like have your full-fledged focus for 4 minutes. And yeah, that's our LN1. Let's just get into our LN2. This is Nibelungen. This is a collab between Mysterion and Hylaudel. This one, honestly, it's pretty difficult to explain like how like it's pretty straightforward for one, but also like not really in other sense. It's 244 BPM, as I'm sure many of you will notice. Last year, our grand finals, Ellen density was about 238, but I think it was a little bit more stamina heavy. It's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, I feel like there's both differences and like similarities between the two. I think the biggest thing in this map that really causes it to compete is kind of how long these things sustain for. I feel like there's two sections of this map. There's this kind of rice or not rice, this kind of LN section. There's a break and then another LN section which kind of has like different patterns inside it. And this one is honestly quite brutal. I feel the LNs are just so tight together, even though it really doesn't seem that way. It definitely feels that way at the 244 BPM.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this just the sort of like anchored patterning in this map is just like really complex, and you really have to have that sort of focus of making sure you're holding down what you need to hold down. It's just it really is just LN density, like it is the core of what makes LN density as difficult as it is in grand finals. So it is definitely something to watch out for. Like we're in this sort of break section here. It's pretty forgiving, I would say. You don't really have like a full-on stamina component to this chart, but you do still have to watch out for the sorts of like that stream pattern right there is really well. And yeah, now we're getting into that sort of like jump stream base, like inverse, like pretty much inverse, but it's not really inverse, but it plays practically like inverse. This is really difficult. We're getting this anchor section now. And yeah, I mean this chart just completely, it just keeps going.
Yeah, we saw a bit of the sneak peek of really the difficulty of this section in this earlier part, where it's really the transitioning between anchors and like stream, and then jump trills and then stream. And that's really where this map really lies. These anchors especially, it's going to be so difficult to be able to play consistently and at like such a high level, and while also having to stream with the LMs alongside it.
And yeah, I mean that closes out the map pretty much. Like we don't really have any more difficulty in the remainder of the chart, but it is just like completely like super dense like charting here, and it's just like, are we really at that level where we're doing 244 BPM LN density for grand finals? And yeah, with that out of the way, let's just jump straight into LN3. This is a Comet Casting Capsule by Hof Daddy, and this is going to be our LN3. It's more of our speedy sort of LN patterning. It is, I mean, let's just let it speak for itself for a little bit.
Yeah, I kind of feel like this map is very unique in terms of its style. I feel like I haven't really seen maps very similar. It is, in my opinion, very structured, I guess. This map kind of has like sections, like mini sections throughout everything, and everything kind of ends off on like a 1/4, and it's really satisfying to play, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this chart is really difficult to describe because there's just so many like different sections that are just so different. And honestly, like this section is more of like a chord sort of section. We're getting into this like streaming section now. I mean, it's just all over the place.
Yeah, that's definitely true, and we can already see, you can barely see the gaps between like LNs. It's honestly kind of crazy to seeing how close they are, even though they are kind of shorter LNs, so it's not too bad.
Yeah, absolutely. And like they're short LNs all over the place, but it just really keeps that like sort of feel of like constant LNs really emphasized in my opinion.
Yeah, and we're kind of getting here. I feel like a big emphasis of this map is kind of like the Jackie LN portion. A lot of like shields, a lot of kind of like, I guess, doubles kind of, and it's really satisfying to be able to play those kind of jacks, I feel.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, yeah, as I said, like again, like each section is just so different. Like this section right here, this like sort of dumpy section, it is like just completely different from previous section. Honestly, in the same sense that Mario Nectaris was our Rice tiebreaker, I would honestly say this is our Ellen tiebreaker. What would you think?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I feel like this really does have like a bit of everything. And it's just absolutely, I feel like if you're really good at LM, this will be a really fun map to be able to play since you are kind of showing off all your skill sets. And as any LM team, I think this will probably be one of the first picks to be played since it is just so good for them.
Absolutely. I mean, this is just, it is just so rough. And we're getting into this chorus section here. It's a broken jump stream base with like very like rocky releases. It is really difficult overall.
Yeah, I think something else to kind of note is that this map is kind of interesting because I feel like it's very dense. However, a lot of the L's are just so short, it's kind of crazy how dense it really feels. It's very weird in that sense.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's just absolutely, it just keeps going. We have this like continued like sort of broken jump stream section. And yeah, I mean, we're almost at the end, but not before this really abrasive like jump stream sort of section with those bursts. It just keeps it does not stop in that whole section. And yeah, a nice little thing to close it out. And yeah, with that being said, that is our LN3. Let's get into LN4. This is Digital Kachak number 5, mapped by yours truly. It is uprated on 1.05. This map is absolutely insane. I think it's my hardest LN chart, I think. And we're using a 1.05. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This is probably your hardest LN chat or map. It is very kind of interesting, I feel. This map kind of starts off pretty flowy, in my opinion, I believe. Yeah, it kind of starts off very flowy, like we are seeing right now, and then it kind of gets a lot more like a shield hell, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the main focus of the chart is absolutely the shields, but I think it's mostly like the rocking your hands back and forth on those sorts of like shield patterns and like trilly, like rolly patterns. It's really rough. It just keeps going, honestly. And yeah, this section right here is like a very like one-handed sort of section where you get like multiple shields on the same hand. Like this is very awkward sort of gimmick going on. It's very silly. And yeah, it just keeps going for quite a long time.
Yeah, I feel like the big emphasis on kind of like playing shields on the same hand is definitely going to be super difficult. We are already seeing our playtester struggling a lot. We'll be sure to find like a bunch of 200s on this map just because of those sections that are just so difficult to be able to play, especially consistently. I feel if you're not finding 200s, you're probably finding a mess if I'm going to be real.
Yeah, we're getting this break section right here. This like sort of break section. There's not really much that is of like difficulty in this section. You do get this sort of chords. I think we're seeing a replayer miss there, which is very interesting. Then you get this like speedy section in the middle here, and it's not too long and it's not too difficult either. You just really have to maintain that control right there.
Yeah, and this section is a bit funny in my opinion.
Yeah, we have this like yeah, this two like. I mean, it speaks for itself. This is an interesting, very interesting pattern.
Yeah, I think it's just slow enough to where it's not a huge deal. It's kind of simple to be able to play, so I wouldn't really worry about it too much, but it definitely is very, very funny to see. If it was sped up, that would be just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna get straight into like pretty much a carbon copy of the original first section. It's the same old, like we get that in the first half, and we got that in the back half as well. So yeah, just having a refresher of what we missed out on in the beginning, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I do think this last half can definitely feel quite a bit faster than the first half, even though I think they are about the same speed. Just kind of because you're transitioning even from something a bit slower to something a bit faster, it can kind of trip you up.
Yeah, I mean that chart is just again, it is my hardest LN chart, I think by far. So I hope you guys enjoy. It is a very interesting chart. And yeah, and now it looks like we're going to get into SV. This is Glacier Fall by Otzi. Uh, this one, this one, I mean, it is probably, I mean, you can notice like the lowest star rating in the tournament, I would say. It is very like gimmick oriented. It's very hard to describe, really. But I mean, it again, SV's charts, honestly, they generally speak for themselves. So let's just let this one play out for a little bit.
Yeah, I will say the note count on this map is pretty low, so we saw quite a bit of this happening in SV2 last week. But taking a miss on this is going to be super, super brutal, I feel.
Absolutely. I mean, because of the low combo count, a miss will cost so much. So you really need to watch out.
Interesting. Yeah, this is definitely going. I think the gimmick is not too difficult to understand, but I do think like being able to know when the timing is tricky.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I think there's some like telegraph sort of thing going on. I'm not really too sure what the notes actually are in the NSP, but visually this is like a really appealing chart. So I hope that encourages people to practice it.
Yeah, we're already seeing about a third left, and we are only at 600 combos, so you have just barely made it past the combo count.
Yeah, I mean, this we're getting this sort of like fake out like chords. Like they're not like they look like trills, but they're actually chords. Very very interesting sort of gimmick here. So I mean, as I said, it's hard to describe unless you're really just watching it the whole time. And yeah, those like 0 BPM sections that you really need to watch out for. You don't even know exactly what you're playing.
Yeah, this is 2 stars, by
And
the way.
yeah, 2 stars, and yeah, I mean, again, star rating doesn't matter for SV maps because SV is not in as far. And so we're just, yeah, that's SV1. So we're gonna take a look at SV2, which is Debug, mapped by Nova Segatari. This one is, I mean, oh my goodness. We're getting a little slow start here, but we're gonna get into the difficulty quite soon. Yeah, there it is. You guys remember that rhythm? You guys need to remember that rhythm.
surely it won't be that difficult if it's just that.
Yeah, but of course it's not just that. And yeah, we're getting straight into this sort of like the bulk of the map here. Very like visually oriented, and so again, I hope that does encourage people to practice this because it is just you once you start like learning this and once you actually get it down, it's really incredibly satisfying.
Yeah, I do think also this is probably one of the lowest scores that we've actually seen on the replays for this SV, so definitely a sign to see how difficult this map is.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, we're getting into this sort of like very like interesting sort of like section where we have like those sort of like staggers, and then we have like little like stutters for the syncopated section. It's just like all around just like very interesting.
And we see the same, I guess, audio bit that we saw from the start, so definitely is important to remember.
And yeah, I mean, just honestly, there's a lot of like repeated gimmicks in this map, so it is very like friendly in that regard. But the gimmicks themselves, of course, are not very friendly at all. There's a lot of like telegraph sort of stuff, so you should be able to sort of like understand how to play it with what you have in the visuals, but it's still very tricky regardless. Yeah, I mean that was SV2, and so I don't want this showcase to be over, honestly. What about you? Like it's just like this showcase has been such a blast, like all these different maps, like absolutely incredible, like and I can't wait to see these being played, but I don't want the showcase to be over. I really don't.
Yeah, honestly, I feel the
Yeah,
same way. I feel like it'd be so nice if we could like stay here for infinity or something. It'd be so
absolutely.
great.
I just wanna stay here forever and maybe shoot off into space or something and look out into the stars. That was Fractal Vertex by Kanemiko, Kitatsuki, and Aoi. Another year of MWC 4K 2024, and it has come to this. I just want to say I'm really, really phenomenally proud of the entire map pool team. There's too many to shout out here. We saw their names earlier in the credits, so let's just have this be brief. Let's go over some shout outs for this uh, graphics team: illustrator Arisu, graphics design Polytetral and Rice SS, storyboard Venerable Nyanta and Encrypton, video design coordinator Sakura 006. This was, as you have seen, mapped by me, Elixir, Guden, Mysterion, and Toph Daddy, and the replay was made by Asol. And since we're at the end here, let's just give a special thanks to our organizers, Azer, Chillier Pear, Leo FLT, Mango Miser, and Sakura 006. Thank you all so much, and again, let's just give a huge round of applause to Kanemiko, Kitatsuki, and Aoi for such an amazing grand finals tiebreaker song. Let's hear it for them.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to shout out everybody in the map pulling team as well. They've been working so hard. I know the playtesters, I know the mappers, I know you especially, Mint, have been just working so hard throughout these past few weeks. Not even weeks, actually, these past few months. I know you've been, like, kind of working since around, like, June, probably quite a bit before that, and it's been just such hard work for you. I'm really thankful for that, and also thank you for all the staff involved, the referees, the streamers, the commentators alongside me, and any of the other staff members. So thank you for being here, and thank you for continuing to help out in MWC.
Yeah, for sure. This NWC really wouldn't be what it is without all of those staff members you just listed. And it's just like there's so much work that goes into it that you guys in the Twitch chat probably will never see like even like a small fraction of. It's just there's so much work behind the scenes, especially to get a song like this, the storyboard, the video, the map itself, the replay, all of that has so much work as people pouring effort into it. So please you talk to like your friend who is a map pooler or a player or not player or like a tester or commentator or referee. Just give them a thanks. You know, it's hard to come by that sort of thing nowadays, and it's just like you really gotta like really there's just so much that there's just so much that goes into this. Really, I just really cannot thank everyone enough for how well this has turned out, especially since we've been planning this song and as well as a lot of the other Osu originals back in January or February. I can't remember when we actually wrote the outlines for the artists, but this has been a long time coming, and we've been really hyped to show this off. And I mean, again, like not only is there so many people behind it, there's just a lot of time, so much time that goes into this, and just again, give the staff a little bit of a like thank you if you enjoyed everything that we've seen. And yeah, I mean that pretty much closes it out. Well, I mean, this MWC occupied my entire summer break, so I'm gonna have my summer break starting now. I'm gonna go grab my margarita. I'm gonna go travel to the Bahamas. Let's go, Sun Apple. Let's go to the Bahamas.
Yes, I love the Bahamas. But yeah, I guess good luck to the teams involved. Good luck to the US, China, and Thailand. Especially Thailand and China. You two definitely have been doing super well this tournament. Congrats on getting top 3 for the first time, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is such a nice like podium to end it off, and I have a feeling. I don't want to jinx it now, but we might see this played in a match. I really don't want to jinx it, but I really hope so. And yeah, with that being said, let's I mean, let's just close out the stream. See you next week. You know, all that good stuff. I hope you guys had an amazing MWC 4K 2024. Here's to more MWC.
Here's to more. See y'all next year for another showcase. Bye, guys.
Hello everyone, welcome back to probably the most exciting weekend we have in this whole tournament here. We're in for the grand finals, the last 2 matches left for the entire tournament, and an absolute banger we're about to have between the lower bracket finals here, Thailand versus China, 2 completely new teams to the top 3, I believe, in 4K. But as some of you have already noticed, we are going to be having a TriCast on today as well. I am Potassium F, going to be joined by both Eliminate and Mashed Potato. How are you guys doing?
I for one, I'm doing really great. I'm really excited to see both these teams go head to head, especially considering their previous matchups with other teams. I mean, you have Thailand, who were managing to beat out South Korea, one of the stronger teams in this tournament, and China being able to pull the same result. So having both these teams now to go against each other in the losers grand finals, to loser sadly out of the tournament, but does guarantee themselves with 3rd place. Really exciting match.
Yeah, that's for sure. And just a bit of context as well for this match. Both of these teams, as Potassium said before, this is the first time they made it to the top 3. So that also means that this is going to be the first time any one of these 2 teams could get a top 2 finishing position. And just also one more thing is that a bit of history lesson right here is that both these teams has faced in 2022 and 2023 also Mania 4K World Cup, and they both ended in tiebreaker, where Thailand wins in 2023 and China won in 2022. So maybe we might be seeing history repeating itself.
Yeah, surely a 3rd tiebreaker, right? Like, this is set up perfectly for that. Both of these 2 teams have been performing so well, and as you said as well, not just Thailand beating Korea, both of these teams beat Korea to get here. Korea was like one of the best looking teams coming into the entire tournament by pretty much everyone's predictions, and they both looked extremely good. Korea didn't even really look bad at all.
Yeah, Korea did look very strong throughout the tournament, and I mean, you look at these 2 teams now and you see what are these teams capable of. I mean, capable enough to beat out Korea C2, very strong Rice, very strong LN. They've kind of got everything, and when you look at today's match, I mean, very, very scary stuff, because we're now in the realms of these teams can really just win on either of these picks. Before in this tournament, I think we have been seeing a lot of Rice versus LN, whereas in this matchup, it does kind of seem like Thailand can take points on anything, and same with China.
But now moving on to the picks and bans, and we got some information right here. Thailand is going to protect LN1, and China's going to be protecting SV1. And the bans is actually going to be SV2 for Thailand and Rice 1 for China. So what do you think about this sort of picks and bans for Potassium?
I think. Wait, hang on. Okay, wait. I was gonna say something, but this has completely thrown me off a little bit. Thailand have picked Hybrid 2 first, which I'm not gonna lie. I expected Thailand to just pick out the entire Rice pool, but the SV bet makes a lot of sense. I think China are gonna sweep SV pretty easily, from what we've seen at least. But I expected Thailand to go for Rice, not this one.
Yeah, although saying that though, this is one of the more physical hybrid maps, so I guess it does kind of play into a little bit Thailand's LN capabilities, especially with their 3-man roster they've got here, very strong LN team. So I think incorporating that Rice into the LN, this might actually be a good pick.
I also do want to point out as a Parponger. I think the Parponger is sort of player who doesn't get talked to about too often when you have like players like Pavin Konkawi, but when it comes to grand finals, I think this is where Parponger shines the most because he can scales really well, and I don't think he will drop that much points compared to finals. I think his skills will stay the same throughout the weekend compared to last weekend. So yeah, I think Thailand does have a chance to win, but on the other hand, China, you see Donex who have been the kind of main character for China, but also with the support of Parasol Tree and Yasin Fanboy as well. So this could be really close.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree. Parponga does scale really well, so it does make sense here for a more physical pick to be coming in from Thailand. But at the same time, the reason why we're seeing China here in the first place as seed number 8 is because they have been scaling better than I've ever seen any team scale, basically. And I mean, we'll have to see whether or not this is a good pick, because this is already getting into it right now. We're starting strong.
For sure, their qualifier seed very low for what they're capable of, but everyone off to a reasonably good start getting through those hand checks there. And I mean, the ratio-wise, we see Thailand might have the slight accuracy advantage there on the back of Kankao with still 99.8 very early on.
That's for sure, but everyone's still holding the combo throughout the board right here. We're approaching the 4-digit combo marks. The 205 DPM mini jacks is not troubling anyone right now.
Wait, this is crazy. I was going to say, how's no one missed yet? Pavin finds the first miss there. Tanks the accuracy down to 99.6. It still looks like Thailand has strong accuracy and contention, but Parponga does drop a little bit below down to 99.2, and Pavin finds another miss.
Yeah, and this map is on the shorter side of the pool. 1 minute 54 seconds, already halfway through the map, and Pavin finding really disgusting misses here. Already 24,000 point lead towards China. I was gonna say it's only 1 miss to 2 trade it back, but yes, with Fanboy actually does find that miss, but we're going to see more than just that.
Oh, Pavin just can't hold on to the combo. This combo is not managing to stay high at all, and the accuracy is really not good for Pavin right now. Yasin Fanboy's down there, but Parponga missing now. Oh, that might be a bit much.
Yeah, despite some sort of carry-esque performance from Konkawi right now, still above 990k score lead, score pace right now. It's just the supporting 2 combos right now from Parponga that's just being outscored. When you look at Parasol Tree and Yasin Fanboy, who's still holding really good accuracy, and Parasol Tree still holding a full combo.
Oh
never mind, that is
4.
Yep, never mind. And now we're actually going to have to 1 full combo each team, but I think China's going to take this. We're approaching the end of the map. There's still just a bit more streams, and that is first blood for China, and that's going to be a match, a breakpoint. Sorry.
I mean, what happened there?
Yeah, that was just an absolute collapse with the 4 misses towards the end. But ultimately, I mean, you have Kunkawe and Don X really MVPs of this lobby, and with Thailand having the MVP Kankao with 988k, it does show they have got the potential, and even Parpogger with the 962 is basically matching Yasun Fanboy as well. So it really just did come down to Pavin's pretty ugly misses towards the start there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm wondering if Pavin had something wrong with, like, I don't know, keyboard or something going on, because that's 8 200s. And it's just really strange seeing 8 200s, 10 misses on a map that's that hard. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not quite sure, because Thailand did have the accuracy advantage overall for the team.
I think it's just off the nature of this map. It's just really uncomfortable. I think the Allen pattern is actually quite easy. It's just a mini jack slip throughout, and it can it's really easy for you to trip up. You can get good ratio. I think when it comes to the physicality, it's not as bad as the next pick, which is LN4. I think this is going to be the most difficult LN pick out of all the pool in all of the 4 LN maps here. This is just insanity. I do not know what to say about this map.
Yeah, it's that it definitely is. And this map is actually over a minute longer than Hybrid 2, what we just seen. And obviously, being an LN chart, much more LN intensive. And based on what we've seen in the Hybrid 2, China must feel pretty confident going into this. But then you also still need to be scared of the Kunkawe 988K that you just got on the Hybrid. So anything can still happen. But China, I think they have definitely got a bit of a lead on this map.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens because Thailand's accuracy was very good. And if Pavan does manage to, hold the misses back a little bit more on this one, I think Thailand could definitely hold it together. Like their LNs did look very strong overall just on that pick, despite the end result.
Yeah, but we have to wait and see. I do think this map is actually quite similar to the previous pick, which is Hybrid 2, just because of how mini jack heavy this map can be. But there's also just so much more in this map that you can't really use the previous result. But here we go, the second pick of this match. We'll be able to see if Thailand can take their breakpoint back or China's going to run away with a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and just with this somewhat slow intro, just getting straight into it. No time left to waste, and it's going to stay even for as long as it takes until Turks finds the first drop from the China side, but traded back from Parponger and Pavan. Back-to-back misses. This is going to give a slightly towards China, but with a 3-minute map, there's still so much time left.
This time the accuracy lead fairly even between all the players. Parasol Tree finds a miss, traded with Pavan as well. Pavan's finding these repeated misses once more. This is going to bring the lead into China's favor by 8,000 points, just about.
But Parpongo also misses as well. I think just both Pavan and Parpongo is actually struggling so much after the first third of the map. You can see right now, Turks, despite a miss earlier, he has finally climbed his combo back up to the 4-digit mark. So yeah, the lead is on China, and also so is the combo. And you can see also the 1v1 matchup between Konkawi and Donek as well. And that's a double miss again for Thailand. Pavan and Parpongo picking up misses. They're not having great time right now within these 1/3 Jack section.
Seeing way too many misses early on into the map, and just about now only approaching the halfway mark. Turks did find that drop just beforehand, but yeah, Kinkawe and Donex, the only FCs of this lobby, and trying to keep their team in the game. Kinkawe, 17,000 point lead towards China. There is still much room to bring that back, but Parpogger still finding these misses at places you wouldn't really want to be finding these misses at, giving a lot of score towards China that even now you still do not want to give. But there is still plenty of time left. All players managing to hit the index trill here. It can be very tricky.
A dangerous part of the map here, even though it's relatively less dense, but the accuracy lead is actually fairly even. Thailand's accuracy is still fine. It's still keeping in track with China. It's just purely misses that's giving this 20,000 point lead.
Break section must have been very stressful for both of these teams, because that's where you get to see everyone scores. We may see more misses coming in right now, and that's Parponger dropping the combo right before the last kill at the map. Here we go. This is the same patterns you see at the intro. Pavan picks up another miss, and another one from Pavan. The accuracy is still clean, but they need misses from China right now, or else China can run away with this super easy. It's now a 33,000 point lead. They need a miss from China as soon as possible.
And wait, Donex still full calling, but Donex does find that miss towards the end there, but it is ultimately not going to be enough in the final few seconds of the map. 28,000 score lead there, and Konkawe with the full combo on a map as brutal as this.
I would thought that was going to end up being 990k, 9 200s on Konkawe with the full combo. Dawn X only with the one slider break as well, but that's not enough for Thailand to take the point. Overall, China, their players just feel like they can hold 3,000 combo whenever they want. They are not missing very often whatsoever.
Once again, I just want to point out Pavan also has the lowest 200 count in the lobby, but has 19 misses, and that was probably the undoing for Thailand right there. I think that Thailand's accuracy is really strong with both Pavan and Konkawi getting single-digit 200s, but it's just the combos, and China just somehow managed to hold their combos together super well. And Konkawi there still back-to-back full combos. He has not dropped a single miss yet.
Yeah, and talking about accuracies from Thailand, every single player's ratio from Thailand beat China's best ratio. So it really does go to show how well Thailand can perform on the accuracy side of things. But yeah, like you said, it really does just come down to these misses, and that is ultimately what's costing them these points thus far. I think they're going to need to change up their game a little bit and start picking into maybe less physical rice maps. I know it's going to be hard to do. We're in the grand finals, losers bracket grand finals now. It's going to be very physical regardless. But yeah, going for rice to the jump stream pick, very anchor heavy.
I think both me and Potassium are thinking the same thing right now. So you want to say it?
We mentioned this a little bit before stream. I mean, I'm not going to say this is a bad pick for Thailand. I think they're definitely very strong on this. But when we're comparing scores from finals last week, China got kind of a ridiculous team score on Rise 2. They are insane at jump stream. And I feel like if China are still comfortable with this BPM, this might be a bit rough for Thailand.
I agree as well. This might not be a good pick for Thailand, seeing how China perform as well. I just also want to point out, China played this map 2 times in the losers bracket, and both of those 2 times they beat out Thailand's score.
I mean, Thailand's score was only 1 score, right? So, and also, we are in the finals now. Much harder, different map. So, although the patterns may be similar, it's still jump stream at the end of the day. It's still faster. The map is still different. It's still 2 minutes, 50 seconds. And with this physicality, with this higher BPM, China can still find room for those misses, really. And if it does get traded 1-to-1, Thailand, we've seen so far, have got that accuracy advantage.
Yeah, that's for sure. We need to... I think quite a lot of focus needs to be put on Pavin right now. I think he has really good accuracy, but it's just a matter of holding the combo together, which hasn't been there for Pavin just yet. So we need Pavin to show up as soon as possible.
And we are getting some players switching in here. China switching in. I don't know what high coming in as the Rice specialist. They have been actually putting off a lot of scores that focus on combo as well. So I am expecting some strong combos on the side of China, but whether or not it's going to be full combos, we'll have to see, because 299 BPM. I don't know about you guys, but that seems pretty high to me.
Yeah, and it's actually great that you mentioned the combo side of things from China. I think this is genuinely how they have made it this far through the tournament. It's just all based on that incredible combo that these players are able to pull off. And ultimately, when we're at this physicality and this density, that is key. That is the most important thing. And now we're getting into the map, and this is only the beginning.
Yeah, that's for sure. This, as you said, it's just beginning. Thailand can still pull this back. One breakpoint is enough for Thailand to even this out. So, but it must begin right now, because China's one of those teams where, you know, once you start losing your grip, you're just going to continue to slowly let China take the match without even realizing it.
What are these accuracies? What are they doing here? We have a 99.95. Oh, but Paponga and Pavin as well with the 2 misses from Thailand early on.
And that was a really nasty drops very early on into the map. And this map is 2 minutes 50. This is not the stamina map, but still somewhat long. And Kung Kawi also finding a miss. That is all FC's gone from the Thailand side, and China still holding on strong. Triple FC so far through the map. And this map is 300 BPM, and it's really showing from the Thailand side. And Paponger is just... He's gone.
That's a bit of tilt, I reckon, there.
I think that's tilt, yeah. That's really unfortunate right now. It's just one of those things. It's just unfortunate. But on the other hand, we see Parasol Tree, and I don't know what high, picking up a miss traded by Pavin as well, but it's just not enough. We'll have to see what happens from now on. But Donic still holding the full combo. We're halfway through into this 300 BPM gauntlet, and still Donix is outscoring everyone in the lobby right now.
Yeah, still with holding on strong with that combo. We did see some misses from the other 2 players there, but ultimately we did see some more misses from the Thailand side. I I think it's pretty crazy to me that Parpaga just stopped playing up and left. That was I haven't seen that one before.
I think just before he left, he had a really rough, like, misread or misplay of a particular pattern that dropped him all the way down to 97% or 98%, somewhere around there. So I think with a mistake like that and a performance like this from China, I mean, there is absolutely no way Thailand would have won this map.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
They've still got very strong combos.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about this. You can see right now, there's still one full combo, and the accuracy is just so overwhelming right now. Parasol Tree, who has the lowest accuracy, I say it again, lowest accuracy on the Chinese side, is still beating out Honkawi, who has been kind of the MVP so far of this match. This is just showing how strong China's performance on Rise 2 is, and that's why I was doubting with Potassium earlier on this pick.
And I think I almost understand now the hybrid pick early from Thailand, because while Thailand has been so good at the Rice so far in the tournaments, it's looking like now, you know, Pavan and Konkawa and even Paponga now, they're not comfortable with the level of physicality that we're seeing on the Rice.
Yeah, I mean, overall, this pool has been a huge step up from just the finals last week, right? I think last week it was something around 280 BPM. So now that we're up at just about 300, yeah, it's a huge step up. And I also just want to mention that China would have won that point regardless. It was over 1 million points that they had that lead by. So Parpaga leaving did not really change the results.
This is actually quite interesting to point out right now, is that we have 3 maps so far. We have a Rise pick, a hybrid pick, and an LM pick, and they all went to China. So Thailand, I think for me, what they would do is that after, what I would do as captain is that I would call a tactical timeout right after this, just to calm down just a bit, just to make sure everyone's just all warmed up, just calm down a bit, and then pick what they think is their best pick.
Still got some LN picks left for China. They're going to be sticking with their initial plan here. Going for the long one now. This is 4 minutes long. And with the stamina that we saw, you know, Thailand starting to run out of stamina on that Rise pick towards the end. The same may just happen on this one.
Oh yeah, most definitely. This map is 4 minutes long. And this as well is quite physical, I would like to say. It's very dense, it's somewhat broken jump stream, sometimes inverse at points. So yeah, China, after playing Rice 2, going straight into Rice 3 might really throw Thailand here for a loop, but I mean, I'm just gonna keep saying it at this point, Thailand have got the accuracy, and all it really takes is just one player to lock in, get that combo down, and Thailand can start taking these points back. And it does just start with one breakpoint.
Yeah, that is for sure. Hopefully we'll get to see Parponga coming back to this. We're still not seeing Thailand's third play yet. Maybe we might be seeing Kiruru, but I highly doubt that. I think at this point now, we're getting to a point where I think Kiruru might be a bit too oh, actually, never mind. Kiru's actually going to come in.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
Interesting switch in. I was kind of in agreement with you there a little bit, because Kiru is one of those players that if you put Kiru in like an early to mid-game LN pool, gonna absolutely destroy almost everyone in the world on all of those maps. But now, more physical, that's not quite their strength. So we'll see if they can keep up with this level of physicality. 250 BPM for 4 minutes long. It's a bit much to ask for, you would feel like, against China in particular.
Yeah, like you said about Kiruru coming in, replacing Parponger, so maybe he's just having issues with his keyboard and whatnot, so he can't really play these maps. You would expect him to come in for this map, but yeah, no, we do see Kiruru instead. And I mean, we can't even say that he is not suited for this map, right? Everyone in this lobby is more than capable of getting good scores, but they just need to really get it now, and especially with the nerves these players might be having, might be a tough ask, but yeah, most certainly possible.
Yeah, that's for sure. I was just checking out some of the score from Kiruru on one of the server I'm in with, and he did FC one of the maps in Dan 13, so he does have the physicality. So it is possible. It is definitely possible for Thailand to take this back.
Yeah, let's see how it goes right now. The accuracy definitely looking strong for both teams. That is Parasol Tree dropping a little bit down, but the combo is what really matters at the end of the day, at least for Team China.
So far, looking good for Thailand right now. Actually, they're averaging above 99.8, but as you said before, it's all about the combo. So there's not a lot you can say right now. It's just you have to wait until you get further in the ending, and that's such a dirty drop for Kiru. The the Ellen spam there really just dropped the accuracy down to 99.2.
Oh, that's traded back by Nelson Fanboy, and Konkawa gives it back yet again, but still Thailand have just got the accuracy advantage, but Kiruru finds yet another miss, and he did find some really nasty misses on those LN rolls previously, but still only a quarter of the way through the map, and Thailand, everyone's back with that 400 combo cap. They have got the accuracy advantage. They can bring this back, as they are doing right now. They've brought it down to only 1,000 points towards China's favor.
Super close, and Dornex now, that's with a miss there on Team China. That's going to be a lead over to Thailand. It's one full combo for each team once again. It feels like that's been a pattern so far. And Yasin Fanboy missing now as well. Thailand looking good, at least so far, but it's a long map. There's still so much left.
Yeah, but Havin's now finally stepping up as we have expected so far. 99.7, also followed by his brother-in-arms, Kong Kao as well, doing super well, and the score is now up to 5-digit. This is looking good for Thailand right now. Kiruru has stabilized his accuracy up to 2,000 combo mark.
Yeah, and Pavin not doing so well on the previous maps, but this map, he's got the highest score in the lobby right now. Still holding on to that full combo, matched by Parasol Tree, but just not on the accuracy side of things. And they've managed to build up a 14,000 point lead. We have not seen that yet in this entire match. And we're into the fourth map, but yeah, like you said, there's still a third of the map left to go. Still plenty of time for things to go wrong. But the question is, can Thailand hold on to this lead that they've got?
Yeah, it's definitely going to come onto their top two players right now, Pav and Konkawa. If you look at the accuracies there, all of the Thailand players are beating out China right now, but Kiruru does find another miss, still tied in terms of accuracy with Parasol Tree, so the AC is very well in favor of Thailand, but they can't afford too many more misses.
I'm very scared for Kiruru right now. There's still so many more dense LN patterning upcoming right now. The last quarter is just super dense LN density patterning with a couple of jump shot right there. Kiruru misses. Those traded by Yasin Fanboy. The score is extended towards Thailand still, which is the accuracy lead. We can look at Pavin right now. Still holding the combo. Konkai is still holding the combo as well. So actually, the accuracy is still on Thailand. But again, all eyes are on Kiruru right now because I'm getting quite scared for Kiruru.
Yeah, and Yasin Fanboy does find another miss, and so does Parasol Tree. We're into the closing of the map, and Thailand have still got this huge lead, 24,000 points, and as long as it's not an actual collapse from Thailand, they're going to take this breakpoint back, and ultimately, these misses that they've been having throughout this map has not changed the score at all. This is an absolute dominant performance on the accuracy side of things.
If you told me that this was the map that Thailand was going to win first, I would have not believed you whatsoever. This is a crazy performance from Pavin in particular. 988k with the only full combo in the entire lobby. That's crazy.
What is that? What is that? I think this is the potential that Pavin can definitely do. We saw how low of 200 count he can get, how good his accuracy can be. It's the misses that just got in his way, and now once you remove the misses, when you take that out of isolation, you can see how well Thailand can perform with just Pavin and Konkawi absolutely demolishing any chart on their way.
And I think it's safe to say that Pavin, he's woken up. They have unleashed the beast, and now it's Thailand's pick. They have won a breakpoint. That was a necessary breakpoint for them to win on. And now, Thailand, after winning that LN pick, do they keep going into LN? I wouldn't say so, but honestly, they could really pick anything at this point. But the main thing is to take away is that they are now managing the combo. That is the thing that they need most right now.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think maybe LN2 would just be... Oh, actually going to be LN1. Yeah, it's going to be one of the LNs. I think LN1 makes quite a lot of sense. I think we're going to be seeing Kiru as well. That's like one of my biggest concerns before is that Kiru might not be capable of playing these LNs, but after seeing how they play on LN3, I think LN1 is definitely very doable for Kiruru as well. So I think the lineups is going to stay the same.
Yeah, we saw Kiruru keep up with Parasol Tree, and really all the members of China as well. So Kiruru was doing really well, and if he was doing that well on LN3, LN1 is really the type of map that Kiruru in particular should shine on even more. So I would expect Kira to even potentially beat some of the Chinese players on this map. And if Pavan and Konkawa can keep going like they just did, this might actually be Thailand's best pick, funnily enough.
Yeah, for sure. I do think Kuru is actually really more than capable of keeping up with these types of maps. I think in LN3, he only missed on the really bursty sections like the LN rolls and whatnot, but we don't really have that in this LN1 pick, and this is 4 minutes long as well, similar to that of LN3, and that consistency that we've seen on that, if they can carry that over to LN1, we could see another dominant performance, and this could go 2 to 3.
Yeah, but that also but there's also, we can see China still, they did beat out on LN1 against South Korea last time, if I remember correctly, so they're no easy opponent when it comes to LN1 either. You can see Donix, Parasol Tree, and Yasin Fiber are the same lineup, and here we go, Parasol Tree with the first drop, and that's actually a really disgusting drop. And so is Donix actually dropping down, and now China just less than 400 combos in, only has one full combo.
Yeah, that Parasol Tree misses in particular, that's 98%. And the accuracy is going to be well in favor of Thailand for a very long time. It's going to take so long for Parasol Tree to catch up. And Dornex and Yasin Fanboy also below the lowest accuracy on Thailand as well.
Yeah, I think regardless of those misses that we've seen from China there, even if Thailand do find those misses to trade it back, as we see from Konkawa, they've still got the accuracy lead, and he's going to get back above that 400 combo cap, and you can see the score has barely been phased at all. Even more misses coming up, but it's just not really going to change.
Might want to be careful with that. I think with enough misses, like around double-digit misses, that could actually change it, but still, this is a really long map, and for like an 8,000 point lead for this long of a map, they need a lot more misses. And you can see right now, Parasol Tree, while he has kept up his combo, the accuracy is below 99%, and that, I think, that is just the score lead right now between Thailand and China.
And right now, Kira, Konkawa, Dornex, and Yasin Fanboy, all four of that bottom row right now, 99.4 just about. Was that a real miss or a client? I can't really tell from Yasin Fanboy.
I think that's real.
That was real, then that's a fairly big lead now in favor of Thailand. 15,000 points as Pavan is the one that's really making the difference as far as this. Oh, okay, no, that was a fake drop, wasn't it? Yeah, and Yasin Fanboy, 3,000 combo. But no, Pavan's accuracy is really what's keeping this in the lead for Thailand right now. 99.6 is so much higher than everyone else in the lobby.
Still, Thailand keeping that 7,000 score lead, and we're now just only approaching the halfway mark of this map, and Thailand still seemingly able to hold on to 8,000 point lead. Konkawa finding really ugly misses there, and still, like, even with those bad drops, they have still got the lead. It's not changing, but Kiryu, 5 more misses now. It's time to go back. Now China only losing by 2,000 points. This can change at just any moment. One miss, that's all it takes. They can go all the way back, but still Thailand are just holding really strong with that accuracy.
Yeah, they still have the dangerous. But like, look at the combos on China. China have not missed in 4,500 combos since their last miss. They have been going on a very, very long time with this combo gaming here, despite the accuracy differential. But it's still 6,000 points. Thailand is still managing to keep the lead.
When it comes to guitar solo, I think this might be... And that drops, Pavan drops! Hiruru drops! The guitar solo has claimed 2 combos from Thailand.
Oh my
Pavan
god.
drops again! I was about to say... Yeah, it's gonna go cross course actually right now, but I think it's gonna go back to Thailand in a bit because of how strong Thailand's accuracy is after this guitar solo, in my opinion.
I don't know, there's not long left of the map, and it's only 1,500 points. They're starting to bring it back a little bit, but still, 1,000 points is really not long left. Thailand need to hold on to these combos. One miss, and there might not be enough time to bring it back.
1,000, it should slowly fall, but Yasin Fanboy finds the drop. That favors Thailand a little bit, even though it was traded from Kiryu, and this lead is going to start moving over, but Kiryu finds a miss.
Still some more time. We still have around 10% of the map left. Thailand's accuracy just bring back, but Thailand with a miss, that might be the undoing. China still have 2 really big combo from Parasol Tree and Donex. We're approaching the end of the map. Is there going to be any more misses right now?
From Kiryu at the very end, China are just not missing. They're refusing to miss, and they might take the break point again.
That's that went from a 10,000 point lead in Thailand's favor for most of that map to almost 10,000 point lead in China's favor right at the very end. We've seen loads of misses on that guitar solo, and look at the accuracies from Thailand. Just so well matched, and when you have that against China, I mean, it really shows how they're winning for most of this map, but the miscount is really what went against them in this map.
Yeah, that is for sure. You can see all three Chinese players having more than 6,800 combo. And I think that has been the winning recipe for China for the past 2 weekends so far. They just don't drop. While the other teams they're much more well favored when it comes to accuracy. China just doesn't care. We're just gonna get like 6,000 combo, 7,000 combo.
It's just the ultimate strategy. Don't miss. That's it. Just don't miss and you'll win. It doesn't matter about the accuracy that much. China, they can still hold 99%. They're still holding decent accuracy, and that's all they need if they can pull off 7,000 combos on all their players.
Yeah, it did not look very great at the very start for China, but also that combo throughout the entire map still brought it back for them. And China now going straight into SV1. Thailand's wanting a timeout, but can't do that until it's your pick. So they're going to be forced into SV1, and this is a pick that China seem heavily favored on.
Oh yeah, it's just 2.31 star. How hard could it possibly be?
2.3 stars, guys. This is like, what, 1 note per second? Easy, right?
Yeah, obviously, you know. Why is it in Grand Finals in the first place? Okay, I think I don't want to say too much, you know, beforehand, but Thailand has not won a single SE pick for the past I don't know how many years now. And I think Banan is also not here as well, which is like their main SV player. And they're not here. And China, who has kind of been quite insane on SV. They beat Japan on SV. They beat South Korea on SV. Like, they were the surprising SV team that no one expected them to be.
Specifically Ganyu Angel, who I expect is going to be coming in here for China. One of the best performing SV players in this tournament, for sure. And yeah, as you said, Thailand not only have they not won an SV pick, so far this tournament, none of the picks have looked even remotely close. I think it's been like a 1 million plus score difference on every SV pick that they've played. So very much this is the free point for China, and it's a very brutal timing to be pulling out as well because they're already 3 points up in the match.
And yeah, Thailand missing one of their players as well. It's really not going to be in favor for them here, but maybe they put in a good amount of practice into this map. I mean, that chance is still there, and this map is a lot more memory focused as well, so I guess we will see how this plays out just from the first 20 seconds.
Also, I kind of stand corrected here. Ganyu Angel's not even going to be joining, apparently. They have better SV players for this one, I guess.
Yes, I was supposed to point that out as well. Just that the Chinese team, they have not just a main, you know, core SE team. They just have 4 or 5 SE players in that team. Turks as well, who played in SV1 last week, who got 982k on SV1, and mind you, that was, get this, the lowest score. That was the lowest score on their team, 982k last weekend.
So Flashlight coming out here for Kiru. And you know, I play Flashlight as well. It makes sense on a lot of maps. This is not one of those maps. So okay, good start.
Yeah, okay.
I think no fails as well.
I think it's a theme that we've kind of seen throughout this tournament, with players not having enough practice with the SV maps, and I think Kiru in this case maybe no practice at all, which is why he's opting for Flashlight here. 47% act this early on. Okay, so it seems like China might just take this point.
Just might. There's still a chance. There is still a chance.
Only 100,000 points in the first few seconds of the map. No big deal.
No biggie at all. But I think while this map is ongoing, I think it's a good time to start discussing about maybe what Thailand should strategize on their next pick, because they did ask for a timeout.
I mean, yeah, Thailand, they have showed really good performance on LN3, and it was very close on LN1 as well, but really they just come down to that combo. I wouldn't be surprised maybe if they still want to keep going down that LN path, go for LN2. But also, I mean, talking about this match, Turk still on that 99.6, almost halfway through the map, and this map is very memory focused, got a lot of fake trills as well, just chucked in the mix.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of, the fact that China's already like tripling the amount of points that Thailand gets, and we're only halfway through. It's just kind of scary to see how strong China is as SV, and I think it's really unexpected. I think we have seen China as a pretty solid SV team, but nowhere to this caliber where they can match the top of the top when it comes to SV scores.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're just
really.
letting this play out a little bit. 1 million points for sure is a little bit of a gap.
Just a bit of a gap. But yeah, I mean, we could just see how deceptive this pattern can be. That is not a trill. That is a core jack pattern right there.
Yeah, definitely throw you off, and I think Matcha Latte and Kiruru, both players probably not realizing that. It seems like they're both start reading Konkawi down the 91% ag, having played the map. But I mean, really, even if all of Thailand match Konkawi's score, this is still super dominant from China here. At least all players on that 97%, and Konkawi, I think, having disconnected there before the map finished.
No, I think that's a fail.
I think that's a fail.
Oh.
I think that's an HP fail.
I also want to say as well. I think Turks actually 1v3
Turks is
against
crazy.
Turks actually 1v3 against the whole Thailand team. Yeah. Okay, so
right.
let me just say this. So Thailand scored 941k, and Turks scored 983k. So the whole Chinese, the Donex and Yasen fanboy could just not play at all, and Turks would have still won.
Yeah, it just goes to show the dangers of sight reading an SV map. These things happen, but now that is the only SV map in the pool available for China out of the way. So Thailand now most likely going to use their timeout as they have been wanting to for the last pick. And yeah, really, I do think they might opt for the LN, but I really don't know what they're thinking at this time.
No, I think they might go for what I think they have to risk it and go for one of the more techy rice, like for example Rice 5 or even Rice 7, bringing back Parponga. Maybe now he has enough time to warm up back again. We haven't seen him since the second pick in Rice 2, so I think he should have enough time to prepare himself for future Rice pick. That's going to be my prediction. Either Rice, maybe Rice 6 actually. They did beat the US in Rice 6 last weekend.
It's such a difficult question though, like what should they pick? Because it feels like in every single pick so far, it's just been China winning off of combo. China have just been missing less. So if the strategy is Thailand pick the tech picks, like, are Thailand gonna try to make China miss? Because that doesn't seem like it's going to happen given how the flow of the game has gone so far. Thailand have been the ones to find more misses. So regardless of what they pick, I think really what has to happen is Thailand really needs to focus a bit more on the combo side of things.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, in the last round, Thailand did beat out China on Rice 2, but when you look at these other maps, it really just doesn't seem like there's much that they can pick. Rice 2 is already out of the way, and China beating Thailand on Rice 5 and Rice 6, so it could just be new territory that Thailand have to go for if they don't want to opt for the same result as last round. And LN, like you say, might be a bit too risky, but it really depends on how confident they're feeling. And we might even see a hybrid. Maybe a hybrid 3, potentially.
Yeah, I think hybrid 3 is a pretty solid core. So I think China, well, they have the combo, but I think seeing how hybrid 3 goes, it's super accuracy based, because just how hard, how abrasive the patterns can be. I think the combos won't be able to save you, because just how many potential act drops place that is littered throughout the map.
It was definitely possible to see some like 98% on a map like that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Some of the mappers in there notorious for that style of mapping in general. But yeah, it's just a rough situation. I would say if there is anything, you would try to look for the least physical map. I think Thailand have really been kind of out physicality'd, as it were, in a lot of this when it comes to the combo. But the problem is, Grand Finals pool, can you really pick any of these maps and say that it's not physical?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that's why I'm a bit more scared, but you just have to risk it when you're 1 to 5 down. You really don't have many more avenues to pick, and when China has beaten you in in Rise, in Hybrid, and in LNs, there's really not much you can do other than just risk it. And I think Hybrid free or Rise 6 would be my pick.
I mean, it just doesn't seem like they've got many options at this point. Thailand, I mean, they are 4 points down, and they do, in fact, go for Rice 6, the somewhat dumpy speed map. And this map, we were talking about how maybe you should pick something a bit less physical. I think this map is quite physical.
But they have picked it regardless, and of course we should be having Paponga coming back in as well for Thailand after having a bit of a break, trying to fix up some of the issues that were happening earlier on when it comes to the combo. I mean, the positive side of things is that, in the past few picks at least, Pavan has looked well and truly online, has been performing at a very high level, and Konkawa is still performing well as well. So if they can start performing better when it comes to these Rise picks, this could be good. But, after showing some, full combos on the side of China, it's a bit hard to ask for that.
That is true, but I think, as you said before, Pavan is now finally switched on, and Parponger, I think he can definitely match one of the China's third play. But it just all depends on the fact that Thailand needs to get 2 really solid scores from Pavan and Konkawa to be able to match that of Donex and Parasol Tree.
Yeah, I mean, we even seen it on the LNs as well, that these guys can just miss. They can get like 5 more misses than China, but still win just because of the accuracy alone. As long as we don't see any massive drops come off from Thailand, and as long as they can hold on to the accuracy. Now, I know this map is Rice, plays a lot differently than LN with regards to accuracy, but still, they can still bring this back as long as they get decent combos.
Yeah. I just also want to point out that China did ban Rice 1. So maybe they're not too comfortable with streamy ES pattern, and this is the most, I guess, similar to Rice 1 as well. So maybe this is also quite a tactical pick from Thailand as well.
We'll see how it ends up going for them. Of course, can't be affording really any more breakpoints, I would say. Already 5-1 in the score. Thailand 3 breakpoints down at the moment. So they're going to have to be winning their own picks for sure for the rest of the match. It's going to have to start here. Everyone off to a fairly good start, but this one is very bursty map.
Very bursty indeed, and everyone's still managing to hold on to pretty solid accuracies. Konkawa is still above the 99.9, but Pavan, the first one to find that miss in this map very early on and giving China just a slight lead, but I don't know how it does. Managed to trade it back, but a little bit less dirty there, and I think Thailand are still going to be behind just a little bit, but wow, these misses coming out from both teams just there.
Yeah, and we saw Parponger actually still holding the full combo, but the accuracy, surprisingly, now the accuracy is on China's side. Maybe China's physicality is just still super high right now. They can still play this map. Pavan with a drop again. Traded by Donex, so actually, it's only Konkawa still way above everyone else. It's not even close, and I think that's why the score is still really close, right? It's just all Konkawa.
This is such a weird dynamic right now. Konkawa is so far ahead, and Paponga and Pavan right now the lowest 2 accuracies in the whole lobby as well. Somehow managing to balance each other out here. But it's been the misses from Pavan really. The misses from Pavan have been so messy, dropping accuracy so much, but that also means that right now, if Pavan holds together the combo, this accuracy is going to start shooting up. It's already at 99.35, already catching up to Dornex.
I mean, yeah, China did have a much stronger lead at one point, and they have managed to bring it back down to only 2,000 points. I think they're more than capable of bringing this back on accuracy alone, but Parponger, even though he's got the incredible combo, the accuracy just not quite there, and that's something similar to what we've seen with China. And Parponger with the really nasty misses. That is a huge lead to China already, and only a core of the map left to go. It doesn't really seem like much could be done at this point.
That's an insane miss.
Yeah, I think that drop there might have sealed it. It's 30,000 points lead for a Rice map. It's really hard for the Thailand to take this back, despite Konkawi just doing Konkawi things is just not enough. The two supporting score is just not there. And we look at China right now. They're all just super close together. I don't know what high. It's actually at 99.7. Donex and Parasol Tree holding around 80k pace.
That's
and
a messed up score. That is a messed up score from Konkawi. What?
No,
my
you did
God.
not just do that. You did not just do that. No.
V1
What?
On a map like this, in Grand Finals map pool, Konkawi on race 6, V1SS, and not even that, the ratio as well. How can you do this? How?
No one else even FC'd. He got less 200s than anyone else got misses. Doesn't even make sense.
I don't know. I'm just done. Like, how is he doing this? But at the same time though, how is China also doing this with a really solid team score? 2.94 million on a map like this is absolutely bonkers. And now China's just insta-picking Hybrid 3. Actually, that's one of the maps that we suggest Thailand should pick, but actually it's going to be China picking this.
Yeah, they wasted no time there, and I do think Thailand can take this point. This map, I would like to say, is not very physical, but the patterns are very... That's where the difficulty comes from, in the patterning. And I just think that favors Thailand here, especially with their incredible accuracy, but still, maybe from what we've seen in these previous maps with the consistency issues that Thailand seem to be having, just finding those strange misses. Could see the same thing here, but Thailand really need to step up, and now is the time to do that.
How did Konkawi do that? What the? I'm stuck in the past a little bit.
I'm still like, yeah, same.
That was like a bursty dump map. You shouldn't be hacking that.
How? I'm like also just like, I've lost my ability to commentate after that score.
Like, look, here's the thing though, like, you go back like 2 years in the past, Konkawi was not a late game player. Like, at all. Just 2 years ago. This was the story of Thailand when Pavin was trying to carry all of the matches into the late game. Now we're seeing kind of the opposite. Konkawi is the one that's trying to drag Thailand across the line here.
Yeah, that's for sure. But now Konkawi needs to continue dragging Thailand across, because now they're playing with sudden death. Any more point and that is going to be it. And China, actually no, for this map, it's going to be very interesting, because I think any 99% plus is just going to be an extremely good score. I do not expect everyone here to get above 99%. And Kiru actually going to be subbing. Yeah?
I'm not gonna lie, you just made me check the mods for a second there. When you
Yeah.
said that I'm playing with sudden death, like, no way, but... Let's see how this one goes.
Early on, Konkawi finding that miss, traded back by Yasun Fanboy very early on finding these misses, and Thailand, I think, do just have these slight accuracy lead, but Kiru finding really disgusting misses this early on in a 3-minute map. I mean, can go either way, but that is already down to 98%. What can you really do at this point? Need to hold on to the accuracy as much as you can.
You need to hold on to the combo, because, I mean, even though it is a big accuracy drop as well, and no one that's missing on this is going to find clean misses, and Yasun Fanboy does miss again, so if China does find any big misses here, this accuracy could definitely swing in favor of Thailand, even though they're at a bit of a deficit right now.
Yeah, it also does help that Pavin's actually holding a 99.7. When Konkawi is down, your brother-in-arms Pavin is here to rescue Thailand from the depths of hell. 6-1 down, Pavin's carrying his way right now, less than 1,000 point, a bit of a break. Oh, it's now 3-digit points lead.
Yeah, and Kiru on that 98, and the score lead is still this close. Kiru about to get to that 99% accuracy in Thailand, about to take the score lead back halfway through the map, and like you said, this is sudden death at this point. Thailand need to take this point. They need to win 5 points in a row, and it does seem like they can, but Pavin and Kiru find those misses, betrayed by Yasun Fanboy. This score lead is only 3,000, but they need to get above that 400 combo cap if they want to at least bring this score back. Now 5,000 points. Donex Pavin finding those trades, but still loads of map left to go, and Thailand are more than capable of getting this back.
But it really feels like, you know, if Thailand want a chance here, 2 more misses for Thailand. But if Thailand really want to have a chance, it feels like they need a lead over China going into the last part of the map. China is just so good towards the end of these maps.
Yeah, that's for sure. And this is more like dense sections as well. I think this is where Kiro struggles a lot. It just can't hold the combos together right now. So is Pavin. Now his accuracy is dropping down to 99.5 compared to before when he was 99.7. Parasol Tree still holding the full combo, fighting against Pavin and Kong Kawi's score right now. Kong Kawi's dropped. Everyone's accuracy has been reset for Thailand, and I think that might have been it. There's still a bit more of the map left, but now it's already 50,000 point lead. Kiru down to 98%. I'm getting really scared for Thailand right now.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be the final nail in the coffin there. There's really not much map left to go. 60,000 point lead. This is somewhat unrecoverable. And I mean, this is such a huge lead for China to have. And the closing of the map, this is the biggest lead I think we've seen besides the SV map. This is an absolute performance from China here.
And China, that's it. Yeah, China are going to be top 2 in the tournament. First time that they're ever in the podium for the 4-key World Cup, and they're going to go straight up to 2nd place at minimum. Of course, still one more match to be played in the tournament, but Thailand going to be knocked out here in 3rd place, still making the podium for themselves.
Pavin's accuracy though, 6-200s, very good fight tried to put up there, but unfortunately, yeah, just the massive score lead in Kiru, 35 misses, and most of those misses were found towards the end of the map there, so I mean, there was still room for Thailand to take that, and I think throughout this entire match, there was room for Thailand to take some of these points, but really, it did just come down to China having these incredible combos.
Yeah, that's for sure, and now the US just saying on the winners bracket, I think they must be quite scared seeing how deadly China's consistency is right now. That is just a performance and a half from China. But on the other hand, we would like to congratulate Thailand for making it this far. They fell just short last year, making it to top 4, losing against Indonesia in the podium match, and now they made it to top 3. And I think even if they lost against China, I think they should be proud of themselves for how much progress the Thailand community, Mania community, has made it.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a team that anyone would have expected being top 3, a couple of years ago, but these players have seriously improved on Thailand to a massive extent. They fully deserve this top 3 finish this year after beating teams like South Korea earlier. But China are on an absolute tear. They have gone through a pretty insane lower bracket run currently and keeping it going as well all the way into the grand final match. Of course, China versus USA going to be happening tomorrow at a similar kind of time.
Yeah, and I mean, China going against the United States, after the performance that we've seen today, United States do look like such a dominant team, but China also are really showing a dominant performance today, so the match tomorrow might be one of the best grand finals matches in the Mania World Cup.
Yeah, that is for sure. And I just also want to point out, so China, they have been on a miracle losers bracket run. They only dropped 9 maps in 5 matches so far in the losers bracket. They only dropped 9 points against Thailand, Vietnam, Chile, South Korea, and the Philippines. No, it's not the Philippines, sorry. It's the against Japan.
Almost all of those teams you just listed are like podium potential teams. Those were the teams that we were expecting. They could have a decent shot at getting the podium, but no, China beat all of them in a row.
So yeah, I think with that, I think it's time to wrap up. I think it is such a I think you all should be really excited for the upcoming matchup. A lot of throwback to previous, you look at other iterations as well in OSU Standard World Cup, OSU Catch World Cup, where China faces against the US. This has been a derby throughout the other game modes, and now you're gonna be seeing these two teams battling out for the top spot for the winner's position in the 2024 4K OSU Mania World Cup.
And yeah, that will be it from us. Stay tuned for tomorrow, guys, for the grand finals, United States versus China, tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. UTC. And unless anyone else has anything left to add, maybe?
No, I'm good.
Wow, okay. Well, that'll be it from us, so make sure to come back tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. UTC, and yeah, we'll see you then.
Make you fall from the dreamy skies.
"44 teams entered the fray to fight for the ultimate prize. We began this search in mid-August, and now, as some might say, wake me up when September ends. We shall say, wake me up when Grand Finals begins." Hello everybody and welcome to the Mania 4K World Cup 2024 Grand Finals match between the United States, having made 5 previous Grand Finals prior, and China, with this being their very first appearance. Tristan Jacob, Nepijin, Peach Marrow, Hello Sun, and Reshiram have a shot to become the first back-to-back 4K MWC champions since Amiram, Lothus, and Silly Fango did it with Brazil in the 2020 and 2021 editions. However, China have the possibility to do the impossible and become the 4th ever team to win the Mania 4K World Cup, and the first time since the United States in 2015 to win it without ever having stood on the podium before. My name is Raviel, and joining me today are my 2 co-commentators, Mifa and Siloeska Els.
Yep, hello. It's finally that time. China has been through a lot to get here, and you do need to respect, essentially, after they've been battling it out for the top 4, the top 3, and upsetting 2 teams in quick succession. And there it is. China is on the cusp of making sure they have the one final fight against the United States here.
I mean, one of the biggest questions I have is we've seen China perform all throughout, same with the United States. I think it's undeniable that the United States has the better accuracy for probably majority of this pool. But the thing about China, I really have a feeling their consistency is going to shine. Their performance against Thailand was extremely well in terms of the consistency. I think for some occasions Thailand had accuracy leads here and there. China just finished it super strong, and I think they can give US a run for their money, especially if China was as consistent as they were last match.
I think something that's very interesting to point out right now is that China has protected LN 2 and the United States has protected LN 1.
Yeah, seeing the protects and the bans, really, it's kind of an obvious thing to see. Although China this time has one weapon on their side, which is most likely going to be SV. But United States, on the other hand, also you I'm not sure what to call it, but it's a fair fight. It's not gonna be like a dirty fight or whatever against China in terms of SPs. But we see probably around the same bands, so essentially kind of the same thing.
I kind of find it weird that US banned an SV pick because, at least for the entire tournament, they have been performing extremely well. I mean, they were literally just second to Japan on the qualifiers, and on finals weekend, or whenever they had the opportunity to play SV, they were really strong on that. But I have a feeling they may have not had the time to practice it as much because China's extremely good at those SV picks.
Nibelungen it is for their first pick there against the United States. Long note 2, I would say 244 jump stream, dense jump stream LNs. Something that China is very well aware that they can absolutely take a point.
Yeah, and this is China's protect as well, so they are going to try and start off strongly.
I mean, I just think it's a great choice for China because China's extremely consistent as a team, and historical-wise, that's really what they're known for. But one of my biggest questions is putting in Nyasan Fanboy here. I would have expected Dawn X to be playing this pick if that makes sense. Because I really think Donnex is more fit to play these kinds of LNs than Yasan Fanboy, but maybe they know something that we aren't aware of.
Yeah, but that United States team is also looking very scary. Peach Marrow, Hello Sun, and of course, their ace Nepijin.
Yep. I believe that we haven't seen this either in like the China vs Thailand as well. Might be a fresh perspective to see.
Yeah, this map wasn't actually protected or banned, and it just wasn't picked at all. It was just completely ignored in the Thailand-China match. So let's see this dynamic.
Alright, we should be getting it soon. The very first pick of the Grand Finals match, and it's coming in and go underway here.
Yep, first map of the Grand Finals between United States and China is underway, with China's Protect coming up first, LN2.
Let the battle commence.
I mean, LN2 makes a lot of sense, but it's all about delivery. I can see where they're coming from, but it's all about the execution. I really think Peach Marrow is going to be what China's going to try to target, because as a third player, I feel like something has to be up, because, I don't know, Reshiram I would have thought played this instead of Peach Marrow. But I do know they've improved so much as a player. Now it's all up to China to keep that consistency up, something they've done a really good job in. But accuracy-wise, US, I think, would certainly have the advantage on.
Accuracy
so
doesn't
far
mean
it
too
looks-
much.
Yeah. Yasun Fanboy actually struggling a little bit right now, accuracy at 99.4, and the entire United States team, the lowest being a 99.7. Doing really well, and Parasol 3 is the first one to drop in this Grand Finals, and that will give a 5-digit lead to the United States straight away.
It's actually terrifying, because this is not gonna get any easier. In fact, I know it's a really fast BPM right now, but this start tends to be like, at least on the Nibelungen beat maps I've seen in the past, this has to be the less denser part, and then the chorus just starts to get more difficult. But what is this start for both teams? I think we've only seen like 2 misses. That's already extremely impressive, regardless of how you see it.
All 5 players are just pretty much nailing it head to head. Although none of the Chinese players have above like 99.3. Although in the United States, 99.8s for both Hellison and Nepijin, that's pretty tough to beat already.
I mean, none of the players on China's side are even close to the worst performing player in the United States. And this is China's Protect.
I mean, I really think it's a strategical blunder on China's end, because straightforward LNs, this is something US has shined in so many aspects.
There's the first break from Peach Marrow's side, but that's already like 2 misses. Well, I guess 3 misses against 1, 4 against 1 already. A significant lead towards the United States in sheer accuracy. With even Hello Summon in trade, that's the cleanest mistake you can ever get.
I'm not gonna say anything, but we all know there's one player we are watching.
There's
My
no full combos on
goodness.
China though. There's no full combos on the Chinese side. There's only 1. But again, the lead is only like 50,000 plus at this point. That's
It is
very,
over.
very convincing already.
Oh my gosh. I mean, throughout this entire tournament, we've already established Nepijin being the ace player for the United States, but come on! Grand Finals map win, we're seeing a 990k.
992.8. That's well, 8200's very clean as well.
Oh.
God, okay. Hellison 910. That's a pretty nice ratio.
It's only Parasol 3 that can sort of match United States accuracy. I mean, Peach Marrow and Parasol 3 have the same exact 200 counts. It just goes to show that LNs aren't something that China should try for it now, because if in the straightforward picks they cannot even match their accuracy, what more when it starts to get technical? And here, this is US picking their own Protect straight ahead. Makes a lot of sense. Like, now that you've seen that China's sort of going to fall off on those long note picks, this release pick should really work out for them.
Yeah, this was already played between Thailand and China. China did manage to win it, but their highest scoring player was Donex with a 979k, and Donex isn't present, I think.
I don't think it's like that much of an issue, especially when Cirque is also very physically capable to handle most of the like almost timing hellish kind of charging, but depends.
I mean, it makes sense. At the end of the day, though, China should not like focus on X player is missing, and I know that they're aware of that. Like, they gotta give their best shot regardless of who's missing. Just gotta work with what's present, and I think they can really make something happen.
Well, here's hoping there are no changes made in this entire lobby as we move from LN2 to LN1. Protect to protect. This is Ignite. And this is a crazy map. 4 minutes.
Have a bit of some bits of desync here. We should hopefully get to it.
You got this, Nyasun. Come on.
Alright, there we go. I really don't know what to expect here. I know that the US protected this, but I'm still unsure about it really. If US like is very misprone to a file like this, China could take something, but that very bad start from Nyasun fanboy is not going to help at all. The fact that we're already at the 4-digit disadvantage.
Well, that's a fair trade, but Nyasun fanboy personal fears like already down with 99s already.
I mean, so far it's actually pretty close, but Parasol 3 definitely the one lagging behind more than Peach Marrow.
Yeah, but it's really just that start. I wouldn't be surprised if Parasol 3 gains slightly as time passes on, but that core with Hello Son and Neptune is gonna be extremely difficult to beat. The thing about these kinds of files is they require so much physicality, and US as a whole undeniably just has that, but Peach Marrow...
There's a miss already by Peach Marrow there. Must have taken back to China, but still needs more because of the accuracy isn't holding up fairly well.
Yeah, and we're only a quarter of the way through. 1 minute out of the 4 entire weeks will become China's second casualty, as United States now have that 5-digit lead that they really wanted.
5-digit lead this early on is already not looking a good sign here. Turks taking second from on their side.
Yeah, Nyasun fanboy is the only one holding the full combo or the highest combo, and that's like the worst accuracy in China. The thing about these picks is they really require you to have full focus. But imagine having the full focus in a 4-minute map. That's gonna cause so much trouble. I just think the physicality aspect is gonna benefit the US so much.
Yeah, some absolutely unbelievable accuracies coming from the bottom row of the United States team. China's still trying their best to keep up, but this is gonna be an uphill challenge.
Still quite a bit of ways to go, but 20,000 points of lead is just because of more of the 2 MCs and then against 1, and then the accuracy by itself is already higher than everyone on the Chinese side.
Just really impressive to see how we've gone through so many release maps, and the fact that it's this fast and this abrasive in Grand Finals. Again, everyone's still holding their combos with all those mini jacks and like those anchors. Really impressive to see that, but I just don't see the US giving an opportunity to China here right now. Like, the fact that this lead is increasing despite no misses is really impressive.
Yeah, and not only that, Nyasun also dropped their FC, so there's no FCs in China's side. Tyrix also dropped again, and now that leads at 30,000 points. This is looking
full steam
ever so
ahead.
bleak. Yes. I mean, Nepijin, what? What is going on?
Hey, in fairness, 99.7 is already very difficult to reach, and let alone 99.8.
This is just ridiculous. I mean, come on. We've hit the hardest map pool of the entire tournament and we're still seeing 99.8. Speech Marrow trades with Nyasun. That's not going to matter as we see Nepijin finally fall. Only one FC floppy.
Yeah, letting go of that one LN in particular, that feels fair enough. We have seen quite a bit so far.
Wait, Helloson already missed? But on a more serious note, so many of these jacks are just mixed with like those technical patterns, so I cannot blame anyone for finding their mistakes. We did see Turks finally finding that, but man, the consistency for most of these players just really holding on. It should really be commendable, but unfortunately, I just think this lead is way too much, even with that miss
Yeah.
from Peach Marrow.
Oh,
no,
that's the last full combo gone already. That's already reaching the end of the map there. But can I just
Yeah.
say that Parasol Tree is giving a fair fight there already, with like a
5?
just almost MC
5.
5 200s.
five
And like this,
200s and 3-digit 300s.
yeah,
And
like
yeah, well,
what? Not gonna, and not, I'm gonna say this, like this team score from China like would literally beat every other team. Like it's undeniable how good that is, but there's
oh
just so much you
god,
can do.
Oh. Oh, we're immediately going for another L-Lit. China just gonna try.
they're going for chaotic jank for
Oh
something
my
like
God.
this. This is very janky as an LN chart.
Okay. I mean, still no Donnex, so I believe this entire lobby is still going to stay as is.
Doesn't seem like a good news for China either, since Turk's thing is running out of steam here.
That's very
I mean-
concerning.
Oh, we do see a change. Tristan Jacobs in?
Yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. If I'm not mistaken, this is a very technical map, right? Tristan Jacob is extremely good at holding their consistency on technical files. And when it comes to that, especially with how late game oriented this pool is, obviously, I mean, Tristan Jacob's the right choice to make.
We haven't seen a fair share of Tristan Jacobs' LNs so far the entire tournament. I know he's capable of doing more of the later game stuff in terms of LNs, but this one is on a different level.
Well, let's see the third straight LN map of this grand finals match. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I love LN, so all the more for it.
That's a fair share of bias right there, but you get the idea.
Very biased.
Everything at the intro is irrelevant until you get to the more of the chaotic stuff. There you go.
Yep, here we go. I mean, these mini jacks with the LNs are just.
Is that an
I
actual
have no idea. I have no idea what's happening
Okay,
here.
let's,
Turks
let's
actually,
wait a bit.
Turks didn't find a real misses there. Nepogen did seem to have missed.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, actually, okay, Tyvix did miss, but Tyvix didn't miss twice.
All right, so
So
that's
Tyvix
why the
missed
lead.
once, Nebujin missed once.
So that's why the lead didn't grow that much. Okay, I don't think that's a real. Okay, that's a real miss. I don't think the first one was.
Ooh.
Sometimes the client can just show those misses that didn't happen, but unfortunately, one from Turks was a real miss. So those mini jacks are
Ooh.
brutal for anyone.
Yeah, but Tristan
Oh,
Jacobs.
the lead's cutting
Nebujin-
down. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness! Wait,
Tristan
Nebujin
hitting late.
Nebujin struggling and oh my
my
goodness!
God.
The entire United States is gone. Tyvix dropped as well. It's only Parasol Tree and Nyasun Penboy.
Oh my God.
An FCS Nebujin falls again. China.
Nepogen
What is
Helsa
going
is
on?
Nepogen Helsa losing
Oh.
their marbles here.
Oh wow!
Oh, I think
This-
China have found the weakness. Finally, United States can fall, perhaps.
There's still that second half of this though. You cannot rest until it ends.
Not to mention this break section. This is the absolute worst time. If China has their leaderboards on, they could see that they have the lead against the United States. I think this sort of like angry trilly patterns could benefit them, but never mind.
Two misses
Ooh.
coming out already from United States here. There's still quite a decent lead to go until the second half right here. So you cannot relax in the next chaotic section coming up here.
This is
Yeah.
going to be terrifying.
Look at the break right here. Only 23,000.
Oh boy!
私も宇宙人なんだ
Wow. Nepijin still has the highest accuracy despite all the misses they've gotten. China have a 23,000 point advantage, there's still a quarter of the map left. They have to hold.
China cannot drop the ball here. Once we get to this chaotic section, it never ends.
It does not end indeed. I think these patterns, like, Nepijin tends to miss on this and Hello Son as well. But Tristan
Jacob.
And there you
my
go,
goodness.
that's what I'm talking about. Look at
They're
China's
losing their
consistency.
marbles here. 30,000 point lead, that's quite established, I might add.
Yasun finally drops though. There's only one FC in the lobby.
Can Parasol
did
Oh my
get
god.
the SC, I think.
Oh
Let's
my
go!
Parasultry.
China's on the board now. 1-2, but it's still
Whoa,
1 point deficit. Four!
Okay.
Four.
What is going on? Hold up.
Four, 200.
Someone check him PC. Someone check him PC. This is not normally. What is that?
And you can already see all long note picks are gone now. There's going on the LNs.
This is the grand final I am proud of. All of the LN maps being exhausted in the first 4 picks.
That's insane.
I have no idea what just happened. Like, that was just 3 minutes of chaos.
Well, that's an extreme jank pick, and the United States did lose their marbles a fair bit.
Alright, let's take a second, or a couple of seconds to breathe here.
Oh man, honestly, I'm just happy to see that China was able to show that they can take a point off the United States. It's gotta be something they're proud of. But honestly speaking, after seeing that, I think China can make some wonderful things happen on this pick. But I think that just also gives them a path to go maybe on the hybrid selections or anything that involves like shields, because that seems to be something that US may tend to choke on.
Yeah, we do see one stop from the United States. Peach Mero now coming back in for Tristan Jacob. And also, like you mentioned, with China winning that point, they didn't just win that point by like a very small margin. They actually completely crushed the United States.
Yeah, they completely swing like from like the first third of it, and then the league just swings over immediately.
I just don't know if the volatility can be applied here, because I think this is less like mini Jackie compared to that. So I wouldn't be surprised if this favors the US more, but anything can still happen.
I think we've kind of established that that the United States team are playing for accuracy and the Chinese team are playing for combo. So we'll have to see if this game that China is going to play here will actually pay off.
Combo does matters a lot here, so essentially you don't really need to focus too much on accuracy, otherwise there's some first miss either from Trick's side actually. He also has the second one, I believe like the first one I should say.
No, that's the first
one.
No,
that was Client, yeah.
Oh, okay, this is the
that's
second
real.
one. This is the real
Oh
one.
dear. Yeah, so this map was actually played between Thailand and China, and this was Thailand's only point against China, so going to be very, very tricky for China to try and even steal a point from the United States here. But I mean, we need to start seeing some misses from the United States side.
Not much of the shield pattern gets in the way. It's just straightforward enough to make sure that you can play this almost like an L intensity thing.
Oh, and the first miss comes from the highest accuracy of the United States team, being Nepijin. And so that lead will shrink just a little bit. It was a very clean miss.
Okay, but Hello Son does continue.
Oh.
It's now just
Okay.
Peach Marrow and Parasol 3. The problem is, like, the accuracies are just so far ahead on the
Yeah.
United States side, and these patterns just benefit them much more.
Yeah, and Tyrex falls again, and now this lead is just going to be reset back to its original position, as Nyasun Fanboy will contribute to that as well.
I'm sensing a pattern here with the whole combos being on Parasol Tree for almost every single Olympics.
I mean, that's really impressive if you think about it. But again, I just don't think there's really any more opportunity. But a 30,000 point lead can be cut down if US consecutively misses, which honestly speaking, it's a very rare occurrence because if they're really good at holding that accuracy, chances are they're also super consistent at those, and that's what they're showing right now.
Yeah, and this lead has grown from a 23,000 point advantage to a 35,000, and it's going to continue to grow as Nyasun Fanboy finally finds the drop and Pyrex as well, and I feel like that might seal the deal unless United States get a flurry of misses.
Oh,
Okay,
that's last FC from United States.
Oh
my god!
Whoa!
Okay, that's a
I did
column
say-
lock there.
I
That's
did
a
see the
decent
United
column
States
up
need a
there.
flurry, but oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a very nasty column lock, but Nyasun Fanboy does find a miss again, and you can see the lead is 44,000. It actually grew from the 35,000 I mentioned. And Pyrex will
Yeah.
contribute to that as well.
I mean, thankfully the column lock B1 is not here, so that's kind of oh, that's the last full combo gone there from China. Parasol did take a miss there.
What is this full comp?
Oh,
What is
and-
this from Neptune? That's with one miss as well, right?
I think so. We'll see.
991, even
yeah,
with a miss.
Yeah, that's one miss. That's one miss.
Wow.
5 200s.
5
Okay.
again. 5 again.
That wasn't even a miss. That wasn't even a miss. It was 50s. Someone stop this man. Come on.
A fair fight is
goodness.
on the ratio. Well, and I guess the 200 count, I should say, is just completely obliterates everyone.
Oh, there we go. Hybrid 3. I believe Silveska mentioned hybrids.
Yeah, that's the best pick that. I mean, debatably, I would say Voxel Adventure is also a decent one to go for. Extraction is okay.
I think Boxel is a better choice because if you think about it, Boxel has those like mini-jacks shields and all that. And if they're gonna go for Hybrid 3, which I believe is more risky, at this point their stamina is just gonna continue to decrease. And like when that happens, your focus also decreases, which you'll need more for Boxel Adventure, which is why I think they should have chosen that instead of this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. China did play this against Thailand. Parasol 3 actually came up on top with the FC. 981k from them. So let's see if they can pull out the tricks against the United States when it really matters.
I mean, another problem that I have with this pick, I feel like US is just better when it comes to like longer maps. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe the 1 point that they won was pretty long as well. I think it was like 3 minutes as well. Okay, yeah, it's 3 minutes and 15 seconds, so around the length of this. So they can win a long pick. It's just that the stamina for US, I'd argue, it's just much higher. So like even if China was a bit more consistent, it doesn't really matter in my opinion.
And the other problem is that United States have some incredible accuracies.
Yeah,
So-
the accuracy does entirely makes up for the miss that they would have in this scenario.
Yeah, I mean, China are going to be fighting an uphill battle no matter what. But they've already shown they can win. So let's see.
Staring dead in the eye for misses, essentially for the United States. Because otherwise the accuracy doesn't really focus too much here for the Chinese side.
Yeah, and already accuracy is quite low on the Chinese side as we find the first miss. And it's on Parasol 3 as well. The one that FC for China against Thailand becomes the first casualty as Tyrix follows and 5-digit lead to the United States already.
Bottom for the United States is disgusting. How do you even hit everything with the 99.8?
This is why I didn't like this pick. Like, I understand that hybrid was like the path that China could take, but at this point, US's stamina is still incredibly high, and China's already starting to fall off. So you gotta try to choose something that you can maybe focus on better. This one is certainly not the one.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the miss came from Klein for Nelson, but I think the miss afterwards was an actual miss. So that is the entire China team gone, and the entire United States team still holding on to FCs all the way.
First, third already. It's like already 34,000 points of lead. I'm not even sure what lies ahead for into the score gap here.
This might be brutal, honestly. I mean, once again, these accuracies from the United States absolutely crushing China.
Still gonna remind you that there still are 3 FCs across the United States here. That's just that's not fair.
I don't know. I think they're gonna miss at some point, right around here.
Siluesca?
Oh, no,
Siluesca?
I'm joking.
Nah,
Don't
that's
worry,
not gonna
I'm
work here.
You cannot manifest it that way. You need to manifest it casually.
On a more serious note, what makes this chart difficult? You notice how there's like those longer notes, and then you gotta hope that you can like read those transitions on the other fingers, which is what the US is extremely good at doing right now. But man,
Well, there's the first one. Well, even if you missed this far into like the last third of it, it's just wow. There's a couple of misses coming out with Nemesis and Tristan and Parasol Tree as well.
Only Hello Sun remains standing. I mean,
I cannot even begin to process what happens here in the pattern here. It's just so chaotic.
yeah. Swing Fanboy picks up another job, as is Tyrix. I mean, this is just that one meme of stop it, he's already dead. As more misses come from the entire lobby, but Hello Sun.
what is Hello Son doing? Like, despite all the technicalities that are present, just could not. I think that's it. I think that's the full combo.
I mean, it's not over till it's over.
Well, the
I've seen some very
releases.
silly mistakes. I
Silly mistakes on the releases.
It's not
But
my
if Hello
fault
Son-
if Hello Son misses, okay? It's not my fault.
Well, that's a 991, I would say.
It's a 991.
Even with that
991.5. There we go, 6.
0.6.
78,000 points of lead. That's
Wow.
3.
Okay.
What?
Dude!
Can you not?
Nepigen as well with the 3, 200, 3, 100, 350, and 2 miss. Like, what are these judgments?
I mean, Nepogen doesn't really want to have 0 everything, so they would have a fair 300, fair 3, 3, 3, 3, whatever.
This is not okay. This is just not okay. And we're going to galvanize a hybrid 1. United States are saying, well, if you're gonna try to play our game, we're gonna play it as well. Oh boy.
I see a pattern here. You notice how every time China picks a certain skill set, US tries to answer with something in the same realm. China picks LN, US picks LN, China picks hybrid, US picks hybrid. So I won't be surprised that if China, let's say, tries to pick Rice at some point, US is gonna do the exact same thing and just pick another Rice.
Yep, also shoutouts. O's Original by Ash Round, amazing track.
It's very fitting for Grand Finals on mine, especially with how everything comes unfold. For like the patterns by itself is already, I mean, well, Grand Finals level that is.
Well, if the United States want to build their accuracy castle, they better hope they have some galvanized square steel ready.
Alright, let's see if they do have it prepared. But something's different here. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I believe this is one of the shorter maps that we've seen this entire match so far. So if there's an opportunity for China to rely on consistency alone, I think this is the map.
Yeah, crazily enough, this is so far the shortest map that has been picked.
It's, I guess, almost in rivaling against not Niblingen, but I guess that's the shortest one, yeah.
And I believe this
time,
wasn't today
this
against Thailand.
This time, I don't know what is starting against Turks here, but United States picking this with a statement that, well, they don't hold back. I get it, because galvanizes don't hold back or whatever.
I know some people in the chat will get the joke, I think. Okay, I think
what
we're just
happened?
waiting for Nyasun Fanboy. It does seem like Nyasun Fanboy has been getting some wonky internet issues, but hopefully we'll just have them solo their way back up and we are up to speed.
Yeah, it's just going to be crazy. And oh, everyone hitting it very well. Thing about this hybrid, I mean, there's a lot of technical aspects. I can see why US would choose it. Like, I think they're just trying to push it all the way with their accuracy alone, and that's definitely the good strategy here.
The first casualty comes from Parasol Tree here.
Oh. Well, so far so good for the United States, all still holding extremely amazing accuracies, as if we don't really have to say that much.
Well, we don't have to mention every now and again that these bottom rows are just insane.
Oh, and I don't know. Second casualty for China.
It's just crazy that, like, you know what I find crazy? Like, the fact that, like, 2 misses can already cause a 20,000 point lead. That's just how dominant the United States has been this entire tournament. You just cannot make any single mistake whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do against a gauntlet of a United States team like this? Like, my goodness. As China fights
yeah,
two
wow.
misses each. Oh my gosh.
Even surviving the onslaught of these patterns are just commendable enough, but what do you even do in this situation like this?
Yeah, another miss from China. This almost seals the deal, I feel, as Peach Mel finds the first miss, and Hello Sun to boot. Nepijin, your only survivor.
Is this finally the time that Nepijin is shining with a full combo on their side? Because I haven't seen the full combo either.
Oh, I think this is it. But man, this difference, there's so many core jacks, broken jump streams and anchors, and that's just not enough.
994.8?
Oh my gosh.
I think 0.7.
What?
There we go, 0.7.
It was almost
Just out.
995. That was almost 995.
Whoa! No! You did
Mint?
not just do that!
Mint, these maps are too easy. As you can tell, we have a 1-200 in grand finals. Mint.
Can you just put in like 1.3 rate or something? Because this is clearly unacceptable.
And we just make Nepijin play on like fade in.
Oh my god, so true.
Oh, no.
Can I just say though, like, looking at China's ratios, like, they actually put a great fight. The fact that they were around the 700 gold, 300 count, that is not as far off as the previous maps were. Great performance, great fight from China, just not enough, unfortunately, against the United States.
Question is, are they gonna go with SVPs or not?
I mean, do China really have many options left? There's only one hybrid remaining and everything else is Rice and the SP, and they are going to go for Rice.
Okay, that's
Man
Mar
Nectarus.
Nectarus it is. Huh. Shoutouts to my main man, Dark Zetar, for this, I guess, custom made for, I guess, Grand Finals pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's about time China picks a Rice map. Like, everything from the hybrids and long notes for the most part, with the exception of LN... Was it LN3 that they want to pick in? Was it LN3 or was it LN3?
Yeah, it was LN3, yep.
Okay, with the exception of LN3, it just hasn't really been working out. So now, it's about time they try something Rice-oriented. And I don't know really what's gonna happen here, but US's strongest skill set historically has always been on the Rice department. So this is a very interesting path they're leading themselves into.
I mean, this is the roll of the dice, right? This could potentially be China's final pick of the entire tournament, just looking at the points.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's really whatever that hasn't been picked, and I'm it's fair enough that they really don't want to go with SVs, especially when your opponent is United States. That's saying something.
Well, here we go. A roll of the dice for China, dipping their toes into the Rice category to try and find their second point, or potentially give United States not just match point, but tournament point as well.
I also mentioned that this is also now the longest pick now for this entire match.
Oh yes, 4 minutes and 24 seconds. Strap yourselves in, everyone.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very consistency heavy pick. It's about time China tries on this. I think they're just trying to bank on the fact that a lot of technical patterns can make the United States miss, but like the accuracy is what I'm just concerned about. China's accuracy has really been behind for most of this. Then again, though, we haven't seen how the rice picks turned out until now.
Drills, okay. Oh well,
Oh,
that's the
no.
first casualty. First casualty goes to Nyasan Fanboy in after the transition.
This might set the precedence. I hope not, but we shall see as this map continues. But United States will take full advantage of that miss from Nyasun.
Second
a
miss
miss on
goes to
Parasol
Parasol. Yep, second miss goes
Oh,
to Parasol
no.
Tree. Pattern begins right here.
Oh, and Neptune is the first miss of the United States.
Also the highest accuracy to miss. That's been like the third or fourth occurrence this far into the match.
Yeah, like Neptune misses a lot, but their accuracy is bar none. Nyasun Fanboy finds a flurry of misses, dips their accuracy under 99. Oh, Neptune finds a miss as well as Parasol Tree.
Very impressive. Again, this is a very technical file. I won't be surprised to see a lot of those misses. It's natural. Like having to read so many technicalities and all that is definitely going to hurt your scores a lot. But if you can hold on to it.
Oh
wait,
my god!
where is that
Tristan!
miss?
Wow.
Nixon! Oh come on! That shouldn't
Well,
be a place
like-
to miss, but they do.
Well, I guess there's only FC comes from Hello Sun apparently.
Yeah, and I don't know. That accuracy is incredible from China.
Yeah, battling it out against like the onslaught of every single United States player. The only player that comes to rival with accuracy is just Neptune.
More misses with
Ah,
no.
there goes the full combo there, but I don't know. But now it's just only one FC across the entire lobby right now.
This might be telling as we enter the second half of this map. 40,000 points off a lead to the United States as two
Whoa.
players from that ending pattern there.
That's definitely going to be devastating. And it was on an Ellen of all things, funnily enough. And now this is where things start to really spike in difficulty with those rolls, those anchors, and jumps as well in the middle of
Oh
that.
my
It's
god,
really going to hurt
four
the act.
misses right after that one transition.
How is Hello Sun still holding?
No, don't jinx it yet. Like these
I'm
kinds
not
of
saying.
pattern.
Again,
These
you
kinds
gotta
of pattern.
manifest it casually. You gotta manifest it casually sometimes.
I mean,
This is just
again,
unbelievable.
wow. I mean, again, after against all odds, Neptune has like 907 in range
Yeah.
of everything.
The mere
They
fact
have
that
they have 1% over Nyasun.
like that's just crazy. Like the fact that we're seeing 98s all across the board is just insanity to me. The fact that this kind of performance is extremely good and we're just seeing one step ahead, one or maybe even two levels ahead of everyone else here.
Oh, there goes.
in the job. There you go. See
There
Silhouette
goes the full
Skylos, you gotta
combo.
manifest it casually.
So true, so true.
I
But
mean,
now
oh, this leaves a landslide. China has been trying to break the United States wall, and that wall has not come down.
indeed. It's
I mean, at
just
this point, the
crazy.
lead is just gonna strengthen a lot more, even with like trades. Even with trades, the other players are just manhandling this so well.
Yep, and that's the end of the map. There's basically nothing left, and that also means match point, tournament point to the United States. One more point needed for them to make it back to back for the first time in 4K World Cup history.
The first time as well, that this time I don't know what it takes the MVP in this entire map by a
Yeah.
sliver.
Is that 8 200s from Neptune? Wait,
That
like
is eight
actually,
200s.
I just realized something. Has Neptune even gotten a double-digit grade this entire match?
Oh, they're going with
my
the
goodness.
final
Oh,
pick,
oh.
being Glacier Fall.
Okay, now my biggest worry is, has China practiced this?
Well, China's played this against Thailand, so and
Oh, but Okay, Nyasun didn't have that much of a fight against the Thai players though. But Tyrix had a really good score. 983k.
I'm expecting Turks and Ganyu Angel to be coming back for SV picks as you would normally see, but again, United States has Reshiram on their side, which
Yeah.
a maestro of an SV player.
Yeah, Reshiram is just unbelievably good at SVs, and they are here in the lobby with Peachman and Tristan Jacob. And China, another issue is they do not have Donex. So that's one player that should be playing SVs for China out of the picture. They will still keep Nelson Fanboy, it seems, and they will have... Okay, I think they're also going to keep Pelso Tree for this.
Okay, it's... Oh wait, no Ganyu Angel?
No, Ganyu Angel didn't play this. It was Tyric, Donex, and Nelson Fanboy that played this against Thailand.
How befitting it would be that when you close a match is with a map that has the lowest star rating of every single pool.
Imagine winning the entire World Cup with a 2.31 SR.
Every single Mania player in the entire universe can play a two-star map, but it's a trap. Unwittingly.
It's definitely a trap. Well, I wouldn't say final shot for China, but definitely one of the few final shots for China to try and make a comeback here. It is 6-1. A single point is needed for the United States.
I'm more interested to see how, for United States perspective, on how they would play against China for SBs.
I mean, better yet, I just wonder if the US still scales extremely well on an SV map like this. I think they would actually. But again, my concern is just can they keep up with this? I would say they would, but they banned the other SV, so that's kind of concerning.
No 100% allowed, Reshiram. Come on, you cannot do
Reshiram,
that. Okay, there you go. Nice.
There we go. You manifested it. But there's also the strategy of banning one SV and practicing the other. I think that might be it. I have a really bad feeling that this might be it.
Yeah, that's a death sentence already, and kind of a yikes to say. But this is a point for United States already.
Yeah, Parasol Tree already under 80%. I think this World Cup might be signed, sealed, and delivered. But let's see United States team score regardless, because I mean Reshiram, like we've mentioned, since we take the United States.
From 99.7 to 96, just from that one singular drop.
Oh my goodness. What is the score from Reshiram? I mean, again, 2 full combos. Okay, sorry, 1 full combo.
There's only one FC left now. Right as you say that.
I think.
Oh my goodness. This is giving me like Electro on was it Shakunetsu train running?
Shakunetsu, yes.
Yeah, that is that. There you go.
This is giving me that vibes because oh my goodness, 99.93.
Hey, I mean, is this the swan song that he can get like a 997 material on an SV?
Oh my what? 2K will be proud. 2K will be really proud.
Okay, to be more specific to US, Halogen, Lemon Guy, Toph Daddy.
Oh yes.
would be very proud of this.
They will all be very proud as well, yeah.
And Tom as well. I mean, so many players from the US are so
narrowly,
good at SVs.
that's not that's the 200 right there. That's not gonna be a V1 says today. But again, at this point in time, United States is defending their title for Osmania 4K World Cup for the 2nd year in a row.
Congratulations, United States! Back-to-back Osmania 4K World Cup champions for the first time in history. One single 200, and what is that ratio?
58 to 300s right there. That's a score that is almost impossible to beat unless you're a Kruke or whatnot. But again, that's a performance and a half.
You know what? China did put up a pretty good fight. I mean, that LN3 definitely going to be one of the most unforgettable maps this entire tournament, but it
LN4,
is...
you say LN4, you say, not LN3, because Digital Ketchup was like LN4.
Oh, LN4, yeah. But yeah, that is it. United States, their third ever 4K World Cup, 2015, 2023, and 2024. Tristan Jacob, Nepijin, Beta Carotene, Peach Mero, Hello Sun, and Reshiram. 5 of them returning from last year. Beta Carotene, the newcomer, sealing their name in history.
Sealing the name with a very cool Usmini 4K champion and also a badge to boot as well. But we're not done yet, because as per tradition, I believe they're also going to be showcasing a Grand Finals tiebreaker, which is also happens to be also as original as well, you know?
Yeah.
The very, very cool song to boot.
Yeah, definitely very cool. Congratulations to this United States team once again, and honestly, like what Rayvale said and Mifa as well, if there was anything, China did put up a great fight. I mean, like, at the end of the day, a lot of those scores were like, what can you do? And China did absolutely amazing with what they had. You can't really fault them for that.
I'm just looking at the statistics here real quick. Is that a... I believe that United States might have finally lost a point. Like the very first point on this entire tournament, because I haven't seen United States
They lost one against
winning.
Thailand.
They lost one. So there's essentially only two
Only
picks
two
that are
teams.
lost. Two teams. There's also 2 picks, which I believe that was placed in this world, and then Digital Ketchup.
Digital,
which,
yeah.
well, not a complete dominance, but essentially negating a complete 100% win to loss ratio. But you know,
Yeah, here we go. Fractal Vertex, Kanemiko, Q, Katsuki, and Aoi.
Honestly, this song is it's a really good song and it's very underrated. This is not a 7.57 star.
I think there were a lot of people that went like, how is this 7.57 after the tiebreaker showcase ended? But I believe these will be the 6 players playing: Tristan, Peach, Nepijin, Nyasun, Persol, and Tyrix.
well, I believe that in the entire lobby, probably almost every single player on their teams are probably playing in the lobby. It's just not showing, probably.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, it might be all of the players.
Well,
that can be present.
I guess 4, because I don't think Donex is like playing either in the tiebreaker.
Yeah,
because
Donex wasn't available.
Unavailable, but yeah, regardless, almost every single player on both of these teams are playing for the tiebreaker, just for the fun sakes of it.
Okay, so while I'm looking at the MP link, I believe the players not shown on screen that are playing this tiebreaker are Hello Sun, I Don't Know, and Beta Carotene. I don't think Reshiram's playing.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, United States have a solid 6 player for, I guess, tackling the tiebreaker. So at this point, it's just expecting all S's.
Also, Nepijin with just a little bit of a timeout from them.
Oh,
Are they
okay.
gonna use-
Timeout after the match starts. Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
After the
Yeah,
match.
they're gonna use their timeout on the Grand Finals tiebreaker showcase. So true.
First ever timeout used by the United States. Actually, I
First
don't think
ever-
so. I think they actually used one before.
Yeah, well, first ever timeout after the match.
Yeah. I mean, you also have to like state, you know, this Team China, they seeded 8th. I don't think many people expected them to go this far, especially after they lost to Malaysia, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they lost to Malaysia in the round of 16, and everyone thought like, okay, that was a seeding upset. Like China won't go that far then, and here they are.
Well, China's taking like 2 upsets in a row. Like, I mean, at this point, it's just looking even more impressive with seed 8 tackling seed 2 and 3. which is apparently is much better than like seeds 4 and below.
You can't beat a seed 9, but you can beat a seed 2.
That's saying something when you have a team that is built on consistency late game and is
Yeah.
able to tackle South Korea and Thailand. That's a thing.
Oh, are we not gonna see Nep? Oh, we're not gonna see Nep. That is quite unfortunate.
Yeah, but I also want to have this once in a lifetime opportunity that I probably wouldn't ever get to mention, but a massive shout out to I guess our for like from Raven from me as well, that massive shout outs to our longtime friend Polytedral for I guess a little bit of showing up in the
Hey.
background, you know,
That's
our
Polly
very
in the
long
background.
very long time friend ever since like what 2013 2014 or something. That's quite a bit to go. We
Oh
have quite a bit of
boy.
ways to go, and sealing up with a showing for her in this tiebreaker.
Has it really been a full decade?
Well, I guess
Oh my
you can kind of say that from our times in that wiki that I wouldn't ever name it, but essentially that is.
The past is in the past, but the present's in the present. Oh man, this intro gives me chills. I mean, the fact that they were able to reuse the transition BGM, I believe, to showcase the original songs and make it into a tiebreaker, is so beautiful.
Indeed, like, speaking of beautiful, honestly, this MWC has been like, I just
Yeah.
want to say, I don't know about you two, but like the skill level we've seen in this entire tournament was just twice as better compared to like every other year. I think you guys can agree with that.
I mean, we've seen some extremely incredible scores that definitely made me almost lose my voice a couple of times. I'll be honest.
I almost lost my voice against China against South Korea. What can you tell?
Oh, that match was historic. That was history being made.
Indeed, like, I mean, again, still incredibly good accuracies from everyone. Oh, wait a minute.
I mean,
Alright, there we
is
go.
that still one FC from Parasol?
I think it's a full call.
Is it a hidden MCs because we can't see the MP lane because of the
True.
the other lobby, because I can just call it like 4 FCs even though there's only one here.
Just still a great effort from everyone. Just more
Yeah.
of these elements, more of these mini jacks and everything like that. Also, the lead it's actually pretty close if you think about it. And okay, never mind. I was about to say it was about the string.
There you go. There's no FC on the Parasol tree side there.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate miss, but that's about it. Everyone in this tournament really, like, I think everyone just won up their performance from like all the previous years, and that's something everyone should be proud of. And
Yeah, also shoutouts to the also originals in this entire tournament.
Oh yeah,
We had
absolutely.
10
Yeah.
of them.
This year's I've been cranking a lot of like I guess old and newer artists especially, but well, with this 10 tracks being shown on this year, it has been like all of them are bangers. Let's just be real here, except maybe I'm kind of biased, but Rana 32 doesn't count, but I guess kind of that's the point.
I mean, isn't it this the first one we've seen like SV custom songs? At least I think so. I might be
Yeah.
wrong. But like those were some really good songs, and I'm really happy to see those kind of technical elements show up. Really, like, the amount of custom songs and every skill set. It just makes me happy to hear those kinds of things. And honestly speaking, seeing these players pop off is also really impressive.
Speaking of OSA originals, I don't think like the Rana 32 OSA original people are aware of the artist, but let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, shoutouts to the songs A Fight in Tunisia, Les Cadences Magics, Tree of Misery, we got Hubris, we got Void of Altair, The Other Night I Love. Shoutouts to my favorite original of the entire tournament. I believe we also have Acacia, that was the last round. Of course, this one is Governizer and Fractal Vortex. And of course, one song that I shall not mention.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, at this point, people are just kind of guessing, but let's just keep them guessing at this point on who's gonna that be. I know the name is right there, but whoever's in the behind the scenes, we just don't want to talk about.
And here we go. That's the motif again.
Hey, there you go. There's the jingle that everyone sort of, and there's the miss right there. the Peach Marrow missing the jingle. Come on now, that's not real.
Are they just quadding? Oh yeah, it's kind of like quadding. No, it is quadding.
It is quadding. I mean, honestly, I would feel that this entire tournament has been a success. Like, you could argue and say, like, the United States having this dominant run might kind of impact the enjoyability, I would say, a little bit, but I mean, we still had some incredible matches, you know. Like, we talk about Hong Kong, Indonesia 5-4. We talk about United Kingdom 5-6 against Singapore. Like, those were some unbelievable matches. Of course, United Kingdom 5-6 against Hong Kong, don't forget.
Yeah, also, like, Hong Kong also did go to a tiebreaker against Indonesia a little while, from like 9-32, you know, Flying Castle, which was the one. That's the one that you also need to watch on the VOD as well, I might also add.
Yeah, if any of y'all do have the time to watch those matches back, y'all should really do that.
Yeah, the VOD gets saved no matter what. And now we're up to a speed up section. We're still seeing like 399s. I mean, look, holding even an S rank on this is already really impressive. Everyone here is performing way above that.
Yeah, I'm quite interested to see some of these scores right here. And I mean, I wanted to say Hello Sun was holding a really good accuracy and then they missed.
I mean, it's still the highest among, well, arguably the highest. We haven't seen the other players that are not in the lobby like now. But MP Link
I will
still
open up
stands.
I will open up the MP Link to see. Oh, I mean, we can do that too. Oh wait, Beta Carotene did leave, so I think it's just gonna be those 3 United States players playing. There's no one else.
Okay.
Apart from, I don't know. So I don't know is the only one that's not seen here that's playing.
Everyone really struggled on like the ending section.
Yeah.
Especially the kind of speed up is just brutal enough.
I mean, this ending, I mean, it's a speed up section. I wouldn't be surprised to see players miss. But I think this is a triple 99 on the US side. It is! Wow.
Very, very impressive scores from everyone involved. And I think that's Parasol Tree with a single digit miscount. And actually getting the highest score of the lobby.
Yeah, like, what can I say? That's combo gaming for you, especially for, well, Parasol Tree has been like the sole player that has been able to keep up full combos up until finals level. And even the lower miscount, like a single digit miscount, is still something very well worth noting.
Yeah, Parasol Tree getting the best score for everyone. Very impressive work. Honestly, just very good scores from everyone, and I'm really happy to like see everyone here and share this stage with you guys. Really impressive work from everyone, and congratulations to everyone for a great performance in general.
Yeah, congratulations for both of these teams, and also very well deserved congratulations to Thailand as well. For the first time as well, for picking up a podium spot as well. So we're not going to be seeing the same 3 teams or whatever in the 4K World Cup on every previous years, but we have 2 new teams coming up on the history books right here.
Definitely some history. Very happy to see new teams in the top 3 every year. It makes me so happy to see 2 of them, China and Thailand. Very huge props to them. Like, they've been working so many years they've had a steady rise. I mean, China had that 2018 run where they got 4th place. I'm just so happy they finally broke through that. And as for Thailand, it's been a community that's been steadily on the rise since 2019, especially on the 4K side, and wow, they finally broke through. Makes me so happy for these communities. And of course, let's not forget the United States for an absolutely dominating performance this entire tournament. I think they've only lost like 2 points in total, which is, it's absurd how good they really gotten.
Yeah, and with that being said, we're gonna shout out a couple of people. The managers of the World Cup, Azer Chile pair, Leo FLT, Mangomize, and Sakura for making this possible. The map pool selectors of Min, Alexia, Gooden, Mysterion, and Paturage. All of the map pool playtesters, all of the mappers, the commentators, alongside Mifa and SKLs and myself, the referees, the statisticians, and the design coordinators for making all this happen. And with that being said, I think that's a wrap for the Mania 4K World Cup 2024. But we do have another World Cup coming very, very soon.
Yep, as well. That's gonna be a World Cup as well. That is probably gonna happen on the next 3 weeks as well. But also a brief shout out as well. And I don't think that has ever been mentioned yet. But this is a unthankful task for, well, I guess for most of the commentators and also referees, streamers as well. I also really want to brief massive shoutouts and thank you to also the Twitch moderators helping us out for most of the moderating in the chat to make sure they are still kept in place for the entirety of this tournament as well.
Definitely, and do we have anything else you want to add, Mifa and Siluesco?
I think I'm ready, good to go. I mean, I've said everything I've had to say. Once again, congratulations to these 3 teams. And I hope that these, like everyone, I hope that everyone continues the spirit of this tournament, continue to grind, continue to work hard, and eventually, I know that your dreams will eventually be reached, no matter what obstacles are in your way. That's all for me. I guess you could add on to that, Mifa, if you want.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially for this entire tournament, 2024 has been, well, to be honest with you, like this is more special than every single year that has been progressed so far this entire tournament. So it's been a while, right, to get here. I'm very thankful for all individuals involved here.
Yeah, and with that being said, we will close out the stream, but come back in 3 weeks for the qualifier stage of the OS World Cup 2024, the final World Cup of the year. We'll see you all then.
Yeah, this has been Mifa, Siliska Els, and Ravale. We'll be signing off. See you next year.